Okay. You good? Let's pop this out. All. Okay. All right. There we go. Had a little bit of a false, well, zero start. There was no start. I was gonna say false start, but nothing happened. But here we are. We are good. We are online, seemingly for now. Yeah, this is my first blue screen since I got the new build. Hopefully that's not a bad sign. What's up, Dart? Sean. We got Ginger. I'm doing good. Just got back from running around. Went out to get some more cat supplies. Some food. New cat tree. A couple new beds. I spent way too much on some new pops. Which, honestly though, it was a really good deal. Even though it was expensive. Compared to what they actually go for online, it was a pretty damn good deal. But yeah, got some dinner, had some steak, which was really good, and I'm good to go. Good to go, ready for the evening. I'm caught up on pretty much everything, so hopefully you can relax this weekend a little bit more. To be frank, no one's really here yet, so it's probably fine. Where's everybody at? Nah, it's I keyed. Let's see. It's gonna be fine. Take your time. Come on, your audience is waiting. Run your race, as they say. Weather outside is frightful, but the inside is so delightful. Yeah, it's freezing, windy, and it's starting to snow while we were out running around, so that's fun. It's a very light snow, so I'm not really worried about it getting out of hand in that way, but who knows? We'll see. Things in this state can just like whiplash one direction, 180 completely on the, just like within a second. J. Jonah Jameson walks in. Hurry up or you're fired. Well, I would just continue to go at my own pace. What's up, Big D? How's it going, broski? Going good. What's up, Caleb? How you doing? You are live, buddy. That I am. How's it going, Omni? Doing good. I really hope there's a second season of Monarch. I do too. I quite enjoyed it. Again, there's a couple of issues that I had, just some unnecessary little things that they did throughout that was a little mildly frustrating. But for the most part, it was really, really fun the entire way through, and those last 2 episodes were insane. Welcome. What pops? I got the Karate Kid version of Daniel, so young Daniel, young Johnny, and Mr. Miyagi himself. And when I was checking on Amazon, Mr. Miyagi was like $200. Where is it? And when you look on Amazon, most it's not even easy to find. Let's do this. eBay 104. Yeah, he's a yeah, there it is. On Amazon, someone's selling it for $209. Yeah, those aren't easy to come by, but I got them. I got the whole set. It was like $220 for all 3 of them. Echo was so good. I just finished. I loved how we got the perspective of sign language. Me too. I was very, very impressed with how that all played out and just how effective and emotional it still was. How awesome was getting to see Daredevil in the red suit on the first episode of Echo, and getting to see more of Gojira in this season finale of Monarch. Both are really, really cool, man. I'm just really glad, one, to see, you know, Charlie Cox back as Daredevil just in any capacity, but I'm glad we got to see him in the red suit. You know, I didn't dislike the mustard suit, the Condiment King outfit from She-Hulk. I didn't mind it. It's not my favorite look. It's, you know, it's right from the comics, is that color scheme is one of his iconic looks. Wasn't a huge fan of it. I'm still partial to the all black. I love like the half face covering with the bandana and the black ninja suit. I love that, especially when he added in the I forget what it's called. The wraps around his suit in the end when he to kind of help strengthen himself. I dug that the most, that combo when he had like the white wraps around his arms and all that shit. Loved it. And yeah, Monarch, man, we got so much more Godzilla than I was expecting. I honestly thought when we saw the trailers and all of that, the only Godzilla we were going to be getting in the whole season, I was only ever expecting us to get him popping up in that one flashback for Kate. I never expected him to pop up, 4, 5, 6 times throughout the season in that capacity. But that was a great little surprise. Echo was awesome. Don't know why there's so many people hating on it, but oh well. It's the same shit, man. Like, for whatever, like, for every genuine complaint, it's just people who are just upset about another culture being represented, people getting their light, and another strong female lead. Like, it's a lot of it is just fragility. There are genuine issues I have with the show, and there are some genuine critiques that I've seen, but a lot of the vocal propagation that I've been seeing that's negative is it's a lot of the same shit we keep seeing in just every fandom these days. It took my boss 3 days and nights to make it across the country due to weather delays. I wish it had taken her longer. Damn. Is that like with flight delays and all kinds of shit like that? I would imagine so. How did you find Echo? I really enjoyed it. You know, the first episode I think is the weakest episode, but episodes 2 through 5 I absolutely loved. While like I do think that like maybe they need a little bit more time in the final episode, I thought it all came together quite well. It was an emotional payoff that I think really, really well worked. It also subverts the typical Marvel trope at the end for a lot of how these shows kind of come to a close. I love the ancestry. I love the ASL playing into the story, and I liked a lot of it. I really did like a lot of it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did, and I really came out of it on the positive end. About to shovel my driveway. This is the perfect live stream I needed during this. Well, hell yeah. I hope it doesn't take too much. I hope you don't have a lot of snow to shove off there, man. The last time I had to shovel snow off my driveway, man, I broke my hand. So trying to do it all with one hand, and it was we at the time lived on like this fairly busy little area, and the snow plows came through, and we were in that right prime spot where our vehicles and our entire apartment complex would have their cars boxed in from the snow plows scooping everything up on the sides and piling up, and that was a nightmare. that winter. I broke my hand. What was it? I think it was New Year's Eve. I broke my hand, so I wasn't even able to see a doctor to have it fixed for another week. Which is not fun, especially when you can feel your bones rattling around inside your little skin sack of a hand. Some tea. How you doing? Kingpin brutally killed his dad as a child, right? When he talked about his dad with Echo, it felt like he was kind of lying. He was he wasn't lying. He was very much so. It was a point of view. It was definitely like, from his perspective, it's not really a lie, but it's not exactly the truth, if that makes sense. It's more of like, there's definitely details being omitted, and it was definitely being presented initially from his point of view. But yes, he did brutally murder his father with a hammer. So, oh yeah, if you haven't finished Echo, we're definitely gonna be talking spoilers. It all dropped at once on Tuesday, so our usual stream rules has that free for game. But that's if anything comes up. How did you feel about Echo? I mean, like I said, I enjoyed it. I will repeat myself at this point. Are there going to be any Echo spoilers? More than likely. Karen and Foggy return. Rumors are true, though. Well, the source I've seen in all of this, these reports is a place that I've never heard of. I haven't looked at the actual article before. I haven't had time yet, so I haven't looked at the actual thing that it's coming from. But the source itself, the site, the group behind it all, it's not one I've heard of at all. So I don't know how accurate it is. So if it is true, I'm so stoked for that. I'm really excited for that. But right now I'm not getting my hopes up until someone really gets a little more, like somebody with a little more pull or weight says something about it. To be honest, I never watched Monarch, but I'll try. I think it's really good. If you like the legendary monster verse, it's a really good show. Unlike all of their films, I actually gave a shit about these human characters. To be fair, I actually didn't mind the human characters in Godzilla vs. Kong. I thought they played a nice little role into that story. And there are some human characters and stuff like that I liked, but the human drama I was really invested in. Most particularly the stuff happening in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Those flashback, that timeline, I think was the most interesting. I got my Daredevil fan service for the day. I missed the red suit, but the condiment suit isn't as cool. It is very much not as cool. Hello there, it's Morbin time. I just have to say them both in Hugh McGregor's voice. I like the season 3 black suit the most, though. Yes, I think that's when he did the raps. Season 3 black suit Daredevil. Why am I still blanking on it? Yeah, season 3 was when he added the raps because he needed that extra reinforcement. But what was that specifically? God, why am I... Tony Jaa, his primary style, what is it? Muay Thai, thank you. I didn't even get to it first. I just had to remind myself what Tony Jaa studies. I think that was right. I think that's right. I could be wrong. Now I'm second guessing myself. Yeah, okay, it was Muay Thai because he was doing the rope training and stuff like that. Okay, I thought so. I started to doubt myself a little bit. As for Reacher, I don't want Dixon to be the traitor. I don't either, but I know there's a lot of people still thinking that it's definitely her, and it very well could be, but this last episode, I don't get that vibe at this point. I'm honestly, right now, I'm not going to be shocked if one of the 1/10th is a traitor, but I'm at this point where I'm starting to be like, okay, well, I think honestly they all are clean, and the series was just trying to establish doubt in us. And that Reacher in the end is going to be validated for his trust in his team. I don't know. Dixon getting stabbed as a part of a bit is a little bit, that's some commitment. He also did look good with Jessica's scarf. He did kind of look good with Jessica's scarf on. I really do hope that they do good on the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show coming out this November. I hope so too. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not like, I don't know. I'm not hungry for that. When we saw the stuff they released for it initially, all the concept art and the premise, I don't know. I'm not foaming at the mouth to check it out. Let's just say. And Spider-Man's my second favorite superhero across DC, Marvel, all of it. And I'm not really vibing with it. But who knows? We could see something and that could change my mind. Well, sad to say, I really didn't like Echo, man. Why? What did you not like? I'm curious. Where's Vanessa? I don't know, but she's apparently recast. There's a new Vanessa. A new actress is playing Vanessa in Born Again. I saw a report saying something along those lines, but she's somewhere. Where? No idea. We don't really know what happened to her when, after the FBI carried her off at the end of season 3. Till this day, I don't know what the word woke means. Don't worry about it. Flight delays were brutal. My biggest delay, I think, was like 19 hours, and I had to stay in the airport the entire time, which sucked. Went into Echo thinking it'd be a grounded series like Falcon and the Winter Soldier or Hawkeye, but the show really caught me off guard when they gave her powers. I had heard going into it they were going to give her powers, or new powers, expand her power set in the show going into it. So I kind of knew it was going to be like that, but I knew it was going to be somewhere in that range in some way, shape, or form. And I still feel that way. It's still very, for the most part, grounded in the way that the Netflix shows were, because they had powered people as well. But yeah. I liked it. I enjoyed Echo. I hope there's another season, but I have to be honest, Biscuits was the best. Biscuits was the best, especially coming in clutch there at the end. Everybody needs a biscuit in their life. And I feel bad that he had to sell his PS4. But it being a spotlight, I can't imagine we'll get a season 2. But who knows? Who knows? I had a job interview earlier this week, but I didn't get the position, so I'm back to job hunting again. It's my second profession at this point. Job hunting is your profession? Understandable. I know a lot of people right now struggling to land a job. I've seen a lot of people I've been in my circles like getting plenty of interviews, but not landing too much of anything, which is crazy. I had one day of snow imaging. Shoveling snow, only for the next day the sun outmelts it all away, and then the night makes it rain takes it. Oh, okay. I think I know what you're trying to say, but I had one day of snow imaging, shoveling. Imagine shoveling the snow only for... Okay, so you had one day where it was snow and you were getting prepared to shovel it, but the next day the sun melts and the rain washes it away. I think that's kind of what happened. So you ended up not having to do it. But then you said, okay, yeah, my hand was not having a good time that holiday season. But it's my own fault. I got mad. Well, there's definitely shared blame, but I definitely got mad and punched something I probably didn't need to punch. Let's just say I hit a computer chair and actually made it leave the ground. It was one of these types of chairs too. It bounced off the ground and went flying onto my bed. Not flying onto my bed, but it definitely did a little hip-hop bounce. I feel like every MCU project we get, there's going to be some people complaining about it. Oh yeah, 100%. At this point, it's just inevitable. Much like with with Thanos, I am inevitable. I didn't even finish Echo yet, so no spoilers. I saw that in the chat, and I gave you my warning. The phrase skin sack of a hand less than 10 seconds into me watching. Nice. Another show I'm really enjoying is Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I've heard a lot of people are really enjoying it, man. I'm glad people were enjoying it. I enjoyed She-Hulk, and then there are haters. I mean, that's true. She-Hulk is definitely a top 5, definitely top 10 MCU show for me. I'm not exactly sure where it ranks right now because, I mean, WandaVision and Loki are definitely my 1 and 2 spots. I think 1 is Loki. I think Loki is locked down 1 for me. And then from there, it might be like Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Hawkeye? No, let's go. Hold on. Let's reorder that. So, Loki, WandaVision, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, I think. I could be forgetting something right now, but that's kind of where I'm at. What's up? ... It's a perfect timing. Oh, then, Rebecca. Gotcha. Who would make the most batshit magical girl style uniform transformation out of DC, Marvel, and who do you think they'd ever pull it off with Deadpool? So, you could easily, well, you say batshit magic girl style uniform transformation. I mean, the first thing that came to mind is honestly pretty straightforward, and that was like any of the Marvels, any of the Captain Marvels. Well, I'm sorry, Shazam's, the Shazamly, any of the Shazamly. You know, Shazamming and then putting onto their sparkly Shazam outfits. I think that's an easy go-to for having like a magical girl style transformation. Iron Man, I think would be a fun one. I don't know where we would qualify batshit style. I don't know what the qualifier would be to make one of those batshit, so to speak. Yeah, I think those are the ones that go to mind for me. The kid from Wednesday's show is going to be in Daredevil Born Again. What kid? There's so many kids. Who specifically? Season 3 had hand wraps and the white line on the mask. Yes. That was my favorite iteration of his getup. Did you see that Ahsoka is getting another season? I did. I'm glad. And we're going to be following up on the storyline that at least Balin has been continuing on from the concept arc that they put out. I just hope that we continue Balin's story. I love Ray Stevenson's performance, but I hope we recast the character and at least continue. At least with somebody that can maybe have that kind of strong, presence that at least can kind of maybe land somewhere in and around that gravitas that he brought. Spoiler free, liked Echo, but felt like the end was a little rushed or underwhelming. Fair. There's going to be a sequel to 28 Days Later. Well, there was already a sequel to 28 Days Later. We're having a sequel to 28 Months Later. 28 months. I didn't like 28 Months Later like nearly as much. I only watched it, I think, the one time, but I remember not enjoying 28 Months Later as much as I enjoyed 28 Days Later. But I'm excited for 28 Years Later because unlike the second film, it's got the original creative team and director back for it. So that gives me a little bit more interest. What do you think of The Last of Us Season 2 casting? I think all the castings have been pretty solid so far. I'm really looking forward to it. I like the... Is it 28 Weeks Later? Oh, you're right. Wait, what? No, this isn't the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, no, it is. That is. Sorry, I fucked up. But I do like the castings. I do think that the girl they got to play Abby is definitely going to need to bulk the F up. But I think everybody looks really, really solid. I can't wait for it. Yes, I also cannot wait for Last of Us 2, but sad as well. Hey, guys, be warned. If you haven't played the games and you've only watched the show, beware the internet next week. This coming week. Because the Last of Us 2 remaster for the video game comes out. So, the internet will probably be all ablaze with all of that stuff again. So be very wary. And I might play it again on the channel, but we'll see if I have time. As for The Last of Us Season 2, the actress that got cast for Abby, I gotta say, I feel sorry for her. I do too. She's gonna have a rough time of it. It's a no-win situation, but at the end of the day, you know, all power to her, man. Interesting to see how they're going to do for Last of Us Season 2. I just want to know how they're going to structure the storyline, because that's going to be the most difficult thing, because it was already fractured in the game between two different, like, points. So, like, I don't know how we'll structure the show around it. Like, how's it going to go? I don't know. What's up, Kate? How are you doing? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, too. First time back since then. Hope you had a good holiday. What's up, Pink Sun? How you doing? Interested to see how they're going to do things for Season 2. Gotcha. That makes sense. I am as well. I'm very curious about it because I played both games. So, like, I know what to expect on that front. And I'm just really curious how the execution's going to land. I can tell you I am not looking forward to the internet conversations that are going to come out of Season 2, though. What do you think about the Mandu Grogu movie coming out? I'm excited for it. I from all things I've seen, it definitely is. It's in addition to the New Republic era film that Dave Filoni was going to be making. So this is a second film that is going to be set within that timeline. It's not the event film, from what I understand, that they've been talking about for the last couple of years. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. The weird thing to me is that Season 4 was already written and already ready to go, and they decided to do this first. So I don't know if Season 4 is still going to happen, or if we're getting this movie instead or in addition to. I'm curious about that Wakanda show. We haven't heard anything about it since its announcement, so I don't know. We also still haven't heard anything about Ironheart, which they've already shot stuff for, and then still been missing from the face of the earth. I wonder if they're going to change up the storyline on Ellie and Joel and their closure for Season 2. I don't know. I really have no idea how they're going to handle everything. What's up, Janine? What's up, Christopher? Vanessa Kirby is in cast in Fantastic Four. Is that confirmed? And not a rumor. No matter what happens in The Last of Us Season 2, some peeps are going to riot. Yes, they are. Yo, when my man, when Biscuits turned his grandma's truck into a monster truck, I was laughing so hard. That was an epic fucking moment right there. I'm interested in that Abigail movie. The cast looks pretty crazy, so I might have to check it out. I haven't watched the trailer for it, but I have seen like stuff floating around for it as of late. I think the Echo marketing was pretty meh looking back, showing mostly just New York stuff plus violence, hiding that it's mostly about family Oklahoma stuff and making it seem more action than it was. Where's your part 2? Here it is. And then practically screaming in all the promos, guys, we're TVMA, we're gritty, set your profile to TVMA, we're dark gritty as fuck, guys. And it really wasn't that crazy. Or on Netflix's level even. Moon Knight, Secret Invasion, Falcon and Soldier, all were just as violent, but TV 14. Anyway, I like the show. Though, as I said, I just think marketing was a little and I get why why they did it for the views. No, I definitely understand why they did it that way. It definitely was not as gritty as they were kind of touting it up to be. It does push the line a tad more than the previous MCU shows. You know, Secret Invasion is the closest, I would say, that kind of gets into that territory. I think it does kind of surpass. The little glimpses we see are a little more visceral than we saw even in Moon Knight, but not by much. Not at all. by much. It's like, bleh. It is nowhere near the Netflix shows. At all. Though. Biscuit's facial expressions when driving past his grandma was freaking hilarious. Yes, it was. When he's just like, oh, shit, she saw me. Biscuits was the MVP. Yes, he was. Protect Biscuits. Him and Jack. Poutine, stop spamming. Let's see. Omni boxes with chairs. Just the one time. Well, no, that's not true. I've punched some chairs before. Playfully. That time was out of actual anger. That's the best scene with Biscuits in his Gmail was like this kid. Yes, it was. Quick version for me. The first episode was just a recap. It was very much a clip show. A glorified, high-budget clip show with a couple of new things. Some new things sprinkled within, but I agree with that. The middle was okay, and then the last episode just didn't do it for me. That's fine. All fun, all valid. I was head over heels for episodes 2 through 4. I loved all the stuff they did there, but it was I get it. It's not gonna work for everybody. It's very I don't know how to describe it. It's definitely gonna be. It's one of those things where it's just like I know like it's just not gonna do it for some people, and I get that. And that's valid. It's not like you're out there like, I can't get this woman off my screen. I still don't know if there's going to be a season 2 of Moon Knight. I thought they had said we're getting one. I thought we saw that we are getting a Moon Knight season 2, like last month sometime. Did you uppercut a computer chair in the snow? No, it was inside. It was just holiday week. I gave it a good old whap. But I slipped, so I didn't connect with my knuckles like I was supposed to, like I should have, like I intended to. I slipped because obviously this swivels, so all of my weight went flip, and then right onto my pinky, and just snapped it right here. I can still feel it. Have I seen Lift starring Kevin Hart? I have negative interest in watching that movie. Or any of those style Netflix movies that come out. I expected the Last of Us Season 2 Abby actress to look strong thick, which is 95% of the video game. The one they picked that looks like Abby, I saw it's like 5% of the game. That's very true. They definitely picked like flashback Abby, which is the thing though. Either way, you know, with the time it takes, they could definitely bulk her up, man. They could definitely get her looking like she could snap a head with just by flexing her bicep. If she puts in the work. I don't know if they are going to, but either way, she has the Abby look. She looks like Abby, which is kind of crazy, but minus she doesn't look like she could just pick me up and break me over her back though. Sheena! She made it. Hope you're having a good relaxing Saturday. Hope you're feeling better. Can't wait for Peacemaker Season 2. Me either. And this is going to be a high bar to pass, is that opening. He did confirm. They confirmed they are going to have a new intro, but he promises it will be just as surreal as the original. But my God, I don't know. Can you strike lightning twice? We will see. So I noticed something interesting. When Kingpin's men killed the interpreter, they used the exact same MO as Felix's cleaning crew in Daredevil Season 3. That is a good point. That is a really, really good catch. There's also a couple of things in the show that are definitely discrepancies from, as much as they said the shows are canon, it's a different hammer that is in the box. When we get those flashbacks, it's a different painting, and that's his room also is a different room. So there's some things, and that could have just been continuity issues with them not being able to replicate the things from before. The painting thing, they could have easily just like took a clip from the show and done that, but like, I'm just wondering, what does that mean anything? No. The kid in question was Hunter, but I can't really pronounce his last name, and I just say that he was the love interest. Okay, I gotcha. So he's gonna be the one with all the SA charges that got in trouble on set. Hunter Dawn. No. Okay, no. The shit. I don't want to give away anything, but like, yeah. Okay, never mind. The other love interest. Gotcha. I don't know why I thought of the other guy. I don't remember their names. Season 2 of Ahsoka. 28 weeks later, not months. Wait, in it weeks? Yes, you were right. I fucked up. But when I typed in 28 months later, it didn't correct me, so I just rolled with it. It's a mercenary. Any predictions for the Reacher 2 season 2 finale? Motherfuckers are gonna die. People are gonna die. Reacher's gonna drop some bodies. You saw that smirk at the end of the episode? People were dead. People were good. That's all I got. I still haven't beaten Marvel Spider-Man 2. Get on it, man. Get on it. What is your opinion on a supervillain themed Grand Theft Auto style game? I mean, in what capacity? Like, what are we talking, like when we say supervillain themed? Grand Theft Auto style. So like if it's like Grand Theft Auto, we're running around. Are we doing heists? Are we forming a crew? Like you'd have to be like a street level supervillain. You couldn't do anything too crazy. You could do like something like a Kingpin game, or hell, like fuck. What about? I've got something in my head and I can't get it out right now. Like Scarecrow, Joker, Black Mask kind of thing. I mean, like, it could work. I don't know how well it would do, but it could definitely work. I like the Daredevil suit, but the basic black one, both versions are goated. And they're not the traditional ones, you know, but I just love that aesthetic so much more. Really enjoying your Reacher Season 2 videos. Well, thank you, David. I'm glad you guys are enjoying them. I love this show. This season maybe doesn't have that charm, that warmth, that flavor that the first season had, but it is no less fun to watch. Let's see. Have I considered doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reactions a week? I think did you mean more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reactions a week? I mean, obviously the thoughts cross my mind, but I don't like diluting, you know, if it's not a show that is immediately in need of, like, I need to get this out in order to get the views, you know, like a new show, something that's just come out, I don't feel like, I don't have like the motivation or drive to oversaturate an old show, if that makes sense. You know, I've double up on One Piece because one, there's 1,000 episodes of that, and it would take me 20 years doing one a week to catch up. That ain't happening. But they're also just 20-something minute episodes, so that's nothing. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a little bit of a different beast. I'm totally in a comfortable spot doing them one a week right now. Now, if there's like a two-parter or something like that, I might change it up. But other than that, I'm sticking to one a week for it because it's like a 45-minute long show, and I got other stuff going on. The Monarch season finale was absolutely wild, and Godzilla's entrance was so badass. Yes, it was. Hell yes, it was. I love, again, the sound design and the legendary monster films are some of the most fun things about that entire franchise, and I loved when you just hear that bassy grumble, you knew exactly what was about to come. I think they were going to split Last of Us 2 into 2 seasons. That's what I read somewhere. No, they are. They 100% are. But that doesn't change my concern about how are they going to tell the story. Because you're going to have to split it into 2 seasons, because Last of Us Season 2. Last of Us Part 2 is double the size and length of the first Last of Us game. So there's a lot more in there, plus you're handling a lot more perspectives. There's a lot more narrative to dive into. But the way the game is structured has a point and a purpose, and it works in that format. For a TV show, it won't work that way. I don't feel like it can work that way. And if you do it that way, structuring it very similarly, I don't know. I don't think it'll play as well, and I know that's the biggest thing, because that was my biggest complaint about the game itself, was how it was structured. I understand why they did it, but it also made it very tedious to play. So I don't know. We'll see. I've seen the casting options for Supergirl. Who do you think they should cast? I mean, I saw them. The only one I'm familiar with is Millie Alcock, and I think she's fine. I think she'd be solid. I think she'd do well. The other ones, I don't really know anything about them. I haven't seen them in anything. At least as far as I know, I haven't seen them in anything. Have I seen the Lego Movie 2? I have. I have. I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as the first, but I have seen the second Lego Movie, and I enjoyed it. It was fine. I thought Millie Alcock could be a great Spider-Gwen. I've heard her thrown around as a possibility for that character as well. Is anybody going to watch Beekeeper? I mean, that looks like a fun little action flick, you know? It looks like your typical Jason Statham action beat-em-up romp. I don't know. I don't know if I'll go see it in theaters or maybe wait for it to come out in streaming. I'm not exactly sure. I saw a trailer for it the last time I was at the movie theater, and I thought it looked kind of fun. How do I feel about Reacher Season 2? People have been complaining about it going downhill. Maybe not being as great as Season 1, but I still enjoyed it, especially Episode 7. I've seen some people say that, and I kind of understand in a way. I don't think it's gone downhill. I think that is definitely, at least from my perspective, a little exaggeratory. Hyperbolic, if you will. The thing I really enjoyed, and I think a lot of people really enjoyed about the first season, is the homey, small town, warm, rustic kind of Western vibe. Stranger rolls into town and gets themselves, you know, this unattached person wanders into a town that's got their own problems, and they get wrapped up in on it, and rather than leave, they decide to stay and help because of the shitty stuff that's going on. You know, and he has to assemble his own unit. He has to make it out of whatever he has available to him, as opposed to him going back and having this established relationship with everybody that we're just catching up on now. There's a lot of those elements that this season doesn't have, and I think that's one of the things that made the first season very, very charming. That said, this season is still just as insane. It's still just as wild, and I think a little bit of it does have a little bit of a sameness feel in some of the episodes. I do feel like the storyline mildly meandered a little bit in the middle bits, but I've not been any less entertained by any episode in particular. I feel like the entertainment value is still very much extremely heavily firing on all cylinders for me. What is your most anticipated movie for 2024? My top 3 are Garfield, Imaginary Friends, and Inside Out 2. Godzilla X Kong is probably my biggest, most anticipated. Then Dune 2, and probably Joker 2. Can't wait for season 3 of Reacher. Me either. Thumbs up in the chat if you want a happy Darcy Lewis Biscuits team-up movie as much as I do. Yes, let's do it. Side character Avengers! The support Avengers. You have the Avengers, you have the young Avengers, and then you have support Avengers. Get all of our side characters together for an epic team-up. Let's go. When does Chucky return? I have not seen hide nor hair of when we can expect the second half of Chucky season 3. I think, do you think actors are overpaid? I was watching the behind the scenes of movies and TV shows, and the amount of work that the crew does is insane compared to the amount of money they earn compared to the actors. I do think in some extents, some of these actors that are pulling like 20 mil plus, 15 mil plus for a movie, I think that's honestly kind of ridiculous. But then again, you also have to think, at this point too, actors are the face of the movie, right? They are as much a marketing investment as they are a part of the film. Without them, sure. Without the crew, obviously everything's not going to come together, but the crew's not the people that are on the camera. The people that are on the camera are extremely important to the success of the film, as much so, if not more, than everything else in a lot of ways. So you're like double booking down on the role of whoever you're putting into your movie. You know, there's obviously caveats to that. There's obviously variables to that, but that's kind of the gist to it. I do think there are 100% overpaid actors, but the thing is, they're paying for the actor. It's not like if they remove that actor from the movie and get somebody cheaper, or if they lower the cost of that actor, they're not going to divvy that budget to the rest of the other crew or anything else or the VFX. They're just going to budget that out of the budget. So it's not going to, they're not going to reallocate money elsewhere into a project if they paid actors less. It's just we would end up paying less for the films overall, you know? Disney needs to stay the hell out of people's way and let artists do what they want with their movies and shows. I hardcore agree with that. In some ways. I do think like with stuff like with franchises and stuff like that, you definitely need to have like a coherent vision. You need to make sure you're not stepping on any other toes. But when it comes to the creativity and the direction of the stories, it's the artist and the vision that they have that is going to get you the most intriguing story. So there's a way to strike that balance 100%. And we're seeing some attempts to do that. I think the closest we got in the MCU was Chloe Zhao's Eternals. And look how that went. It didn't do bad, but it definitely didn't do what they were expecting it to. I think that's the closest. Obviously, Sam Raimi had a huge imprint on, once again, didn't really, had a little bit of a mixed reception with Multiverse of Madness. I think those are the closest we felt to the director's presence within the film. But outside of that, I 100% agree on all fronts. What happened to Jimmy Woo? Haven't seen him since WandaVision. No idea. No idea. I'm even more excited to eventually see Daredevil now. Hell yeah, me too. Who's Biscuits? It's Echo's lovable little cousin in Echo. Hope we don't get robbed of a season 4 of Mando. I hope we don't either. I hope we still get it. Is there still going to be 18 episodes of Daredevil Born Again? They haven't said anything different, so I assume we are still set for 18 episodes. Yes, to season 2 of Moon Knight. I need to follow up to that Jake Lockley end scene. I was watching Alex Hefner's reactions to the MCU TV shows, and yeah, I forgot how much I loved Moon Knight. For the most part. Kingpin talking about how he lost someone close to him, who he killed, to relate to Maya, who lost someone close to her, whom he killed. Right? Yeah. That's just how fucked up and manipulative that dude is, and it's part of the scary aspects of it. I was watching another reactor who thought a movie, won't name which because it's on your list, should have been split into 3 films with the storylines involved. Do you think more films should be trilogies or standalones? Honestly, I don't think there's a one answer fits all for it. I think it's whatever really serves the story. You know, people realistically aren't going to sit down for like a 6-hour movie. Because I was going to say, if you could do it all in just one setting, just do it all in one setting. Do like a 4-hour whatever movie, you know, fuck it. People watch the Snyder Cut. You know, I did. I sat there, didn't even go up, take a piss or nothing. Sat straight through the whole thing and watched it. But, like, you know, it just depends on the story you got to tell. If it's got to be broken up, it's got to be broken up. But you also got to make sure that you're devoted to making sure that each segment feels like it's distinct, like it is its own pocket of the story. It's got to feel like a chapter, where a chapter, everything's got to, even a piece of the puzzle's got to have a beginning, middle, and end. You know, there's some that have just kind of, they just drop, and I don't think that works, you know. Not the punky. Thought they may be breaking DD into 2 parts, but who knows now after redoing the series. I mean, that was the original intent. They were going to be breaking it up into 3 segments, is what I heard. It was going to be releasing in, originally the reports were that it was going to release in 3 6-part segments. What the fuck is the cat doing out there? Oh, ooh. Okay, hold on. 1 second. Oh, no, never mind. You did not want in here. Well, she doesn't like being picked up. I think she was like, no one's outside. Where is everybody? I'm in here. You don't have to go screaming. Anyway, that's Mimi. First stream I join. Hopefully you and chat are well. Doing very, very well. And love the Garantino. Dark Scouter Gamer. Hell yeah. I miss Captain America. Me too. Me too. Miss Evans Cap. Likewise. I've been watching Hawaii Five-0. Never seen it. Never seen it. Caitlin Demmer was really fantastic in No One Will Save You, so I'm sure she will be amazing in The Last of Us Season 2. I really want to see that still. I still haven't watched that movie, though. I think I've had a fair amount of the movie spoiled for me. So, I don't know if I'd get the same enjoyment out of it, but yeah, I do want to see it still. That actress that flayed the doctor's brain in Mando Season 3 looks like the picture in the games, Abby. She has the physique. I've never played the games. I've just seen the images. She would be great. She would be great. The problem is I think she's just much too old for the role, because her and, you know, Abby and Ellie are meant to be the same age. Like, they're like the same age. So, like, while she looks physically very much like a 1-to-1, like, I don't know if that would work in the grand scheme of things, but obviously I don't know. It just depends. Like, opposite. Why am I blanking on their name right now? Bella Ramsey. Opposite Bella Ramsey, you know, it just might come off a little weird. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Disney Plus adding the Netflix series on the timeline makes me gutted for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. Those getting confirmed and not that is kind of hilarious, because especially considering I feel like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Was way more connected, or at least put way larger of an effort into making sure they were connected. Obviously, S.H.I.E.L.D. itself was a huge, integral piece of the MCU puzzle for many, many years. So, it's got a lot more weight to carry with it. While the other ones, honestly, you could take them out and remove them. They don't impact anything. So, I understand them being more, I'd say less tiptoey about those, because in the grand scheme of things, they don't impact or push or pull with anything that's already been done. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Flew so closely to the sun alongside them that they'd have to be very careful about whether or not they designate that one, I would say. I don't think we are getting a Zombieland 3. Dude, I did not like Zombieland 2 at all. Like, it was okay. I really didn't enjoy it. There's rumors they are going to be bringing back the actors who played Foggy and Karen for the DC series. I hope it is true. I also hope it's true. The source I've seen, I don't know anything about them. I've never heard of them before. Until somebody, like, I have some faith in their weight. So we'll see. Maybe once they say something, I'll give it a little more gravitas and weight. But for right now, I'm not taking it as truth. That's for sure. Playing at Arkham Asylum right now. Hell yeah, amazing game. Can't wait for GTA 6. Hopefully I'll be able to get through it. Trying to pin down which person is Hollywood has SA charges against them is getting stupidly difficult. Right? It's more and more, man. And then there's the Mia Goth thing that happened like over the weekend. Like just yesterday, I think, was when that report came out that she's getting sued for assault or some shit. Mackie Cap will do fine as long as he's not given crappy scripts. Oh, 100%. I'm really looking forward to what they do with him as Cap, and I'm still sad that they got rid of such a good suit. God, I really liked his Falcon and the Winter Soldier suit, but hey, is what it is, man. Mark Millar's Nemesis might make an interesting inspiration for a GTA-style open-world mayhem game, but I don't really think I could stomach seeing it as a movie or show. I think I know which one you're talking about, I think. What are your thoughts on the Arkham games? Up until the Spider-Man games, I think they were the pinnacle of superhero, narrative-driven single-player games. I think they were the best, hands down, superhero games that we've had. I kind of think that the Spider-Man games, for the most part, took a lot of what worked in those games, expanded upon it, and honestly refined it so much more. The only reason I kind of give Spider-Man the leg up too in that is the, purely the traversal and the fact that the world is alive. You're in New York. I wanted, when we got Arkham City or when we got Arkham Knight, that the world would feel more alive than it did, and it really just it just never did. Everything else was still great. I do think the combat, though, is still vastly superior in the Arkham games. But also, once you land, a lot of it is very straightforward. But I do love those games. What's up, Khaled? Have I watched the sequel to Happy Death Day? Not yet. So I am planning on, rather than picking up more shows or doubling down on shows at the moment, I'm thinking about going back through our previous poll winners and watching their sequels, rather than waiting and hoping that one of the sequels also gets voted upon, because I would rather watch something completely new that you guys suggest to me than if a sequel to something beats out, something wholly else that I haven't dabbled into. So I'm thinking about going back and diving into some films that I did reactions to, but I haven't watched any of the sequels yet. So that'd be like the Die Hards, the Gremlins movies, Disenchanted, Happy Death Day 2, the other Oceans movies, the second Orphan film, and maybe even the subsequent Maze Runner films. The Harley boss fight. I don't really remember it all that well. Did you ever read the article "Everyone is Beautiful and No One is Horny" by R.S. Benedict? What are your thoughts on modern body image issues for men with the rise of unrealistic and unattainable standards? Yeah, I would say it's, for me, I've struggled with this for a while. When I was a kid, it was always I was too skinny. I was too skinny. I was too skinny. I was too skinny. Obviously, as you get older and stuff like that, and then you're paranoid of going the other direction as your metabolism slows down. It's just like, I don't think it's not nearly. I don't think it is as near. And this is my opinion. Don't come at me, anybody. But I don't think it's nearly as much pressure, obviously, in any way, shape, or form in my head, even close to what women go through in any stretch of the imagination. For me, that's my perspective. That's what I'm going to say about it. But men go through it very much so too. You have the supermodels, you got all this, especially with the rise of superhero movies, man. If you're not chiseled, you're not fucking a Hemsworth, you might feel a little like shit, But It is what it is, man. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I don't really like the structure of my head. I think it's too round. I don't have enough sharp features. Obviously, I'm not 6 feet tall. But it's just, it's frustrating. Let's be real. This is frustrating. But like, we haven't been dealing with this shit for 100,000 years. What's up, O'Reilly? Man hasn't got charges against them. Fair. Well, peace out, Omni. Take it easy, Dion. How hyped for you am I for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2? I've already watched the first episode. It's just, I gotta work on editing it still. Well, I've sent it off, waiting for the edit to come back so I can review that and then get it ready for Wednesday. But I've seen the first episode, and let's just say, as happy as I am, certain things happened at the end of the season. It broke my fucking heart, dude. Like, Anyway, I'll leave it at that. You guys could experience that when it comes out. I was like watching your One Piece reactions. I'm glad. Thank you, Luis. I'm glad you are enjoying them, man. Dude, like every fandom has them. But again, it goes back to what I was talking about, like the things that people complain about anymore. It's like, even though I've increased it to two episodes a week, I still got a comment on one of the Echo videos. It was like, you're watching this woke trash, no wonder fucking One Piece is taking so long to come out. I was like, motherfucker, I put out more shit. And what else is this anymore? And again, it goes back to just people throwing shit around because they're honestly, they're dumb as shit. This is all I gotta say. This is all I can assume about these people anymore. Or just someone hurt them or something. I don't know. But like, Jesus. I was like, you're telling me One Piece doesn't have any kick-ass women. I know, I've not seen it all, and I know that's a bold-faced fucking lie. Like, go to fucking hell, people. Jesus, sorry. Anyway, tangents. I will say, like, I get some off-the-cuff, really dumb things, usually on Marvel stuff, definitely on Star Wars stuff, but I've seen some just fuck-off stupid shit come out of these One Piece people coming in now since I started watching the show. Vast majority, totally fine. Every now and then is just some off-the-wall comment that just makes me just question humanity. Let's see. Will I be reacting to the TED series? Hell no. Nope. Are you happy to see, are we seeing more Happy turn into Red Hulk? No, I doubt we will see more Happy as a Hulk at all, you know? That was a fun little thing for What If, but I don't think we'll see that, like, anywhere else. My middle-aged last name are famous. My middle name, O'Reilly. My last name is Reeves. Hell yeah. Hey, I'm a Michael, and there are a bajillion Michaels, you know? What did you think about Zombieland 2? I think I answered that earlier. It was fine. I didn't enjoy it really at all compared to the first one. It was a huge letdown for me. Interesting that the writers rewrote episode 1 of season 6. I don't know what we're talking about here. I meant Purple Hulk, real life. I don't think we'll see his Purple Hulk in real life, but who knows? Secret Wars opens the door to many a possibility. Is it just me that I think Godzilla is cute? I think Godzilla a lot of the time, very much so, is very reminiscent of a cat. So there are times where I could definitely see people perceiving Godzilla as having a little bit of a sassy cat cute vibe sometimes. He does sometimes. This episode of Reacher was my favorite of season 2. The team taking out the dealers and the flashback was fire. 2 scenes of Reacher interrogating, torturing, and killing was fire. Nell fight was fire. Ending fire. Let's effing go. Hell yeah. I agree with you. I don't know if I would say it's my favorite of the entire season. I'd have to kind of go back through it, but right now, definitely, those interrogation scenes with Reacher were both very fun. Also, another fun Echo catch, the jerk at the roller rink was played by the same actor who played Nathaniel Malik on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and also the Imperial Shuttle co-pilot in Mandalorian Season 1 finale. I thought he looked familiar, but I just could not, and it's not from S.H.I.E.L.D., but obviously, but like, because I don't think I've seen him. If I've seen him, I definitely don't remember him. I imagine he's someone I haven't seen yet, but he looked familiar. He looked like a discount Kyle Gallner to me. Like, I kept looking at him and keep thinking, like, this isn't, he looked so much similar to Kyle Gallner, but obviously not the same. But I did recognize him. I felt like I did. You were awesome. Ketchup or mustard or both on hot dogs. I'm a ketchup only kind of guy. On my burgers and on my hot dogs. Now, I'll have chili on a hot dog. I'll have pulled pork on a hot dog. I'll have any other combination of meats on a hot dog, but my go-to condiment is ketchup. I don't like mustard at all, really. Howdy Omni. I found myself enjoying Echo despite its obvious flaws. It gave me that itch that hasn't been scratched in Daredevil Season 3. My third favorite Disney Plus show, to be honest, and I need to catch up on your reactions, though. Well, I hope you enjoy it. I enjoyed it as well. I'm right there with you also. Win of a YouTuber. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Everything is awesome. Man, I haven't seen Lego Movie for ages. Spaceship. Everything is awesome. Are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see. God, they should bring back Sasha Kaye. She handled her role as Supergirl. She was just not given a good movie. I thought she was fine, but if they're going to go more to the comics, I understand them going the direction that they're going. And I also understand not wanting to be beholden, wanting to be beholden to anything that was done outside of your control. I completely agree. Not agree, but I completely understand them not wanting to use her. Invincible Season 2, Episode 1, Evil Mark kill Adam Eve. On his world, yes. Well, no, he paralyzed her. He didn't kill her, he paralyzed her. She's still alive, but she's paralyzed on that earth. Principal, we caught Robbie with Molly. Johnny, who's Molly? That's some chick he been hooking up with? I remember that exactly. I remember that exchange. Good old ignorant Johnniness. Also in Echo, I didn't like how they changed her powers. Well, they didn't change her powers. She still has the same powers. She has additional powers. What they did in the show was interesting, but how they executed was a little harsh, lame compared to her comic book version. I mean, I don't think her comic book version has anything to compare it to necessarily. She still has the same ability she has in the comics. You know, her Taskmaster ability. She can still do that. We see her do it in Hawkeye, and we see her do it in Echo. It's just not to the Taskmaster level, but her heightened observation plays a role in her ability to go toe-to-toe with these people that clearly outskill and outmatch her in some way, shape, or form. I never felt like they took any of that away. Maybe they're not focused on it as much, but they added to her in a way that added, connected her more to her roots, which I liked. And I get it. Not everybody's going to enjoy it, and everybody's going to rub up with it. And a lot of people don't like change. But I don't really feel like they took anything from Echo, personally. I felt like anything we got was in addition to things she could already do and displayed that she could already do. I think Reacher Season 2 has grown on me as it went. Season 1, I was hooked. This had a few to get me invested, and I am fully now. Seeing him with his crew is nice. I still think Finlay and Roscoe better. Agreed. There's just something fun about him building a relationship with people that have to get to know him. Like, it's fun seeing him interact with people who can match his shit-giving, match his intelligence, match his craft, and can challenge him, but also know him on a deeper level than that. It's a different thing altogether. I like that mystery about Reacher, and maybe that's one of the reasons they didn't want to do that again so soon after the season, like for it to repeat. But I don't know. I didn't bump into it as much as some people, but I do miss Finlay and Roscoe. It was nice seeing at least Roscoe get mentioned in this last episode, and actually seeing Finlay, and then be able to incorporate him into the story, I liked all that. Side characters movie? Hell yes. Can we add Jimmy Woo? Yes, we can. I'm like old school Chucky, 1989 movie. Dude, I love the old school Child's Play films, man. I really, really do. What game should you like, but doesn't pull you in? I feel like I should like, I don't know. What's a good example? I want to say like Skyrim, like the Oblivion, any of the Elder Scrolls games, even a lot of the Fallout games. I feel like I should enjoy them, but like I just have such a hard time playing them. I just have such a hard time letting myself get sucked into the world, you know? It's just, I don't know. I feel like that's the first one that comes to mind to me. If you don't know her powers was similar to Taskmaster, mimics of other people's fighting styles, which was simple. Like I said, yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Because she echoes whoever she's competing against. You know, it fits into the name. But they also did that too. She's an echo of all that have come before her, which I liked as well. I watched the Golden Globes Awards. Can't believe Barbie beat Mario, Spider-Man, John Wick 4, Oppenheimer, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Oppenheimer. I smell bullshit. I don't know. I don't remember who did what, but I didn't pay attention to that. I'm not shocked about it beating. I'm definitely not shocked it beat Spider-Man. I'm not shocked it beat Mario. I'm not shocked it beat John Wick 4 or Guardians for that matter. It beating Oppenheimer, I do think, is a little silly, but I'm not surprised to see it beat the other ones. I don't know what the category is, but I think one thing that people forget for actors versus crew, actors don't get to be anonymous or live their lives. Big-time actors are stalked for the rest of their lives, even unto death. That is a very good point. That is also a very, very, very good point. Yeah, there's a lot. In that weird way, there is a higher risk of being famous. You know, being the face of a thing. You know, you're out there, you're public, your name, all that shit, and it's not difficult to find these people when you're in Hollywood. You know, I mean, fuck, dude, these people are constantly stalked. You know, people are using photo lenses, like telegraphic photo lenses, like just kind of sneaking shots into their homes. It's insane. Hell, somebody broke into fucking Keanu Reeves' house a few weeks ago, you know? I've seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine recently. I've only seen a handful of episodes. I haven't seen anything about it. I've seen like maybe 2 or 3 episodes. I don't think I've seen anything for the show in probably a year or 2, probably, now that I think about it. I still haven't seen episode 6 of Moon Knight. Really? Damn, okay. Do you think they will bring back Wilson Bethel as Bullseye in Born Again? I mean, maybe. It's definitely possible. Definitely possible. I think the smartest thing Disney-era Lucasfilm did was founding the Story Group, a whole set of creatives dedicated to minimizing inconsistencies in lore and canon. I definitely agree with that. Also, give the Story Group as well as giving Filoni a little more influence. But yes, just got into Reacher episode 7. Hell yeah! Yes, you're right. It was 3 segments about D&D. See, I thought that's what I remembered. Here's a good question on that: trilogies or solo films, limited series or movie trilogies. Which one do you think should be used more? Honestly, at this point, I kind of prefer limited series versus movies because you get more time. It depends. It depends. I do feel like Secret Invasion and the way that was handled probably could have been a better movie than it was a show. Honestly, I think Echo may have been a better movie than it was a show. I think Miss Marvel would have been a better movie than it was a show. But some things need to be expanded. Some things need that time. Sometimes they need that love. And I think that's where the limited series can come in. That was a genius move. Also, making everything canon post-2014, regardless of the medium, was a smart move as well. Having the tiers of canonicity, the old EU was dumb. Oh, it was very dumb. The old EU, while there were still cool things out there, its entire existence was marred with contradiction. Marred with it. And there is contradiction now. Hell, Dave Filoni has retconned a couple of books and a couple of comics. You know, at the end of the day, what is visual what is on screen, what is a TV show, animation, or movie is like absolute from what we've seen. Everything else, even as much as they say it, as much as they tout exactly this, that everything is canon, we've seen stuff get stepped on, stuff get changed. But that is it's very minimal compared to what it used to be. Breaking news, Omni Media is the king of mustaches. No, I am not. That honor, I believe, would go to, dude, I don't know. I want to say Tom Selleck has probably got one of the best mustaches I've ever seen. Nick Offerman also has a really good mustache. Or, shit, what's his name? What's his name? Fuck. Why am I blanking on this dude's name? Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott. Thank you. Thank you, Google. I don't know why I just said thank you. Tom Selleck. Kitty, who the baby? Kitty. One thing I like about Reacher Season 2 is how they upped the action both in terms of the amount of it and the amount of good guys kicking ass, and also the scale plus the types of action. Agreed. Agreed. Called Mimi because everything is about her. I mean, you could look at it that way. We were just kind of going through names, and I was listing off Digimon character names, and like, you know, Mimi was one of the OG Digidestin, and that's kind of one thing that stuck, especially just because like a lot of the times, a lot of our cat calls are Mimi Mau Mau, so it just makes us a little lazier. Also, Cat Box. Haven't seen Reacher. Is it good? It is really fucking good. Reacher's very good. Nervous for the final season of Cobra Kai. I'm sure it'll be fine. I trust these guys to land this plane. Will I be returning to the Walking Dead reactions for any of the new spin-offs? The Rick and Michonne one comes out next month. I'll be watching that one. I'll be watching The Ones Who Live. That's the only one I have any interest in right now. I didn't realize Ellie and Abby were the same age. Yeah. They, as far as I know, they are supposed to be about the same age. Maybe not exactly, but about. Got a super chat. Oh my god, I'm behind. What's up here? Thank you, Scott. Oh, Jesus, super chat. Disney's Star Wars canon sucks. You don't even believe that. You like, you enjoy The Mandalorian. You've enjoyed Ahsoka. You enjoyed a lot of that stuff. I don't, Jesus. Now the sequel stuff we agree on. I'm not a huge fan of it, but that blanket statement, I don't think is even true for you based on the conversations we've had. I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, me stopping and starting it again, it worked. They're doing like maintenance in the area and shit like that, so like it's probably going to be a little fucky here for a minute. I don't know what the last thing I said was, but spoilers, depending on them, doesn't really bother me. You know, I had the big twist and reveal for the Wednesday show ruined like on episode 2, and I still really loved watching the rest of the show. I know some of the big twists and turns of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for the first 2 seasons, and it doesn't hamper me enjoying the show. You know, it just, a lot of the ride, I think, is still justified at the end of the day for me. God bless you. Don't cry, Omni. Oh. S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5 onwards loses connectivity a bit. I think I've reversed course on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. being canon. Really? The early season fit in so well, it didn't step on any toes, and Human's arc aside, but at a certain point it deviates when they realize the movies were never going to reference the show. That's fair enough. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. deserves to be canon. If that pushes About Time down the poll list, I'm gonna be pissed. In what respect? In what respect? I still think they should count it, though. It's more connected to the MCU than the Netflix series. Kind of pisses me off a little bit. That's the problem. That's why it is so much harder for them to pull it in. It's less clean because of how connected it tried to be. You know? That's why they're so apprehensive with it. As much as I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. being canon to the 616 universe of the MCU, I think I'd settle for it being in the MCU multiverse and having those characters appear as variants in Secret Wars. I think that is more likely, you know? I know I've said this about 100. About 100 times, but you are my absolute favorite reactor. I always feel like I'm watching and doing, I'm watching along with a good friend. Well, I really appreciate that, Impossible. I really do. That's all I try to do. You know, crack some jokes along the way. Just feel like we're just shooting the shit and having a good time watching the shit together. What's up, Vicky? Hello from London. Just finished For All Mankind on Apple TV. Superb series. Strange it's not talked about more. Yeah, it's not getting that Suits buzz, is it? Damn it. It definitely hasn't got that Suits pull, but I do hear good things about it, and I saw like a little teaser, I think, for one of the current episodes or current seasons when I was watching Monarch, because Apple TV Plus likes to front load all of them with a commercial, which doesn't actually stick into the runtime. I think some men wouldn't mind to be fucking a Hemsworth. I mean, you're not wrong. For All Mankind is amazing. Can't wait for next season. I'd rather be in a good shape with good muscles than being super jacked. I definitely never want to be super jacked. Super jacked, I'm not really. I just want to be fit enough. Have you heard the news about the casting of Supergirl? I have. We talked about it a little bit earlier. I don't really have my hat in one way or other with who they've got right now in the running, but I'd be fine with any of the ones they've got. The only person I'm actually familiar with is Millie Alcock, and she's great. So I don't know. As a kid, Tom Holland made me want to go to the gym. So did the other Chris's. I still have my membership and I haven't gone in months. Sick again. Goddamn, good vibes. Get some vitamin C. Just inject it into your blood. So I decided to watch Lift, Netflix's Kevin Hart, because I wanted something new, but not something that'd be great. That I couldn't fully appreciate. It's sick. Sometimes I could just watch. Here's your part 2. And kill some time and get some enjoyment out of it. And oh boy, was it forgettable, generic. And in the moment, it was entertaining enough. Shout out to Netflix for making tons of these just watchable enough. There's a lot of that on Netflix, you know. I saw a little something for it. I saw it pop up in the feed, and I was like, I could not care less to watch this right now, dude. Some people say the geek and nerdy is the new sexy. A little bit. In some ways. I think a little less hyper-masculine is way more expected now. Hell, more dad bods or more in the vibe as well. There's a lot more variety these days that are more widely accepted, I think, for men. So there's a little bit more, if you can fit into any of those pockets, you have a little bit more of a fighting chance versus like growing up, you know? Oh, we got some Galaxy Geeks love in the chat. I had to swing by and show some love. How did your Echo reactions do? They've done all right. They've done okay. I enjoyed the show, that's for sure. Outside of the first episode, you know, view-wise, they're not getting like massive hits. You know, it's fine. It'll probably maybe with some traction, some word of mouth, maybe they'll pick up. But I'm not too bummed by it. It's about what I expected, to be honest. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. That's why I reacted to Percy Jackson over Echo. I mean, it's probably the more tactical move, that's for sure. Understandable. Oh, damn it. Now I gotta find my spot again. My God, there's so many messages. I'm so behind. Here we go. Fuck the tater tots, and I don't mean the food. I don't know what that means. Glad it doesn't affect me. But I did go to the gym. Health or something. If no one sees me eat a cake, it didn't happen. I just go and watch, you know? I just kind of go out there and kind of, get my blood pumping. That's all I'm really concerned about, you know? Wah! Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 kicked my heart. That first episode 100% did. Your Percy Jackson this week got 21K, so you're pretty happy about that. God damn, maybe I should be watching some Percy Jackson. I mean, I don't hear anybody talking about it except in the chat here and there, you know? But, I don't know, because I was like, if word of mouth is strong enough, maybe I'll check it out. But I just haven't, I don't know. Again, like I said, the property itself doesn't entice me, and I don't think the trailers were very good. They didn't work for me, but, you know, like, the show's, sounds like it's doing pretty well, and maybe my perception of the show is just skewed. Maybe if I watched it, I'd feel a little differently. So who knows? Maybe, well, I'm not saying I'm going to. I am not saying I'm going to, but you never know. You never know. Mood can change. Hey, if shut up, Sean. Anyway, imagine taking TV shows that seriously. It's not real, people. People say a show is woke or just trying to mask their racism and sexism. It's not real criticism. These bigoted fake fans need to just stop watching and leave the fandoms alone. Honestly, I agree. Let's not talk about what's going on in the Star Wars fandom right now. This wasn't talking about Star Wars. We were talking about just fandom in general, man. I see it with One Piece. I'm seeing it with, obviously with Marvel, with Star Wars. We see it all the time. DC, we see it. It's just, you can't escape it anymore. There's been talk about how Hollywood's men bodies have gone through a transformation after 9/11. It's interesting as a woman to see who we tend to lose our minds over versus men mostly straight. I'd be curious for you to elaborate on that, to be honest. I wish society would have left the term woke in 2023. If there is something with a POC, a woman, or someone in the LGBT community, it's woke. Yeah, it's pretty much all the standard criteria these days. Heard about that What If Star Wars in production? It's a rumor, it's a report that they are talking about possibly starting production on one. And I'll be honest, opening that can of worms with Star Wars, I think would be the most detrimental thing for Star Wars. Like, there's no escaping the discourse that would come with that. Because there's already enough about people being like, this is better than what they did. Like, I feel like doing that in Star Wars is just asking for discourse. Cobra Kai. One Piece has some great written female characters than any female characters in the MCU. I was talking about Cobra Kai episode 1 of season 6, my bad. Okay, so they had to rewrite that first episode. That's fine. That happens all the time. Happens all the time. Michael was my name when I first conceived and then got changed to Sean. What could have been? You're not going to see Malik from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a long time. Okay. Yeah, the S.H.I.E.L.D. premiere reveal is heartbreaking. Yes, it fucking was, dude. How are you so consistent on YouTube while still having an actual job? I just sleep whenever I can find time to sleep. I don't really have a consistent sleep schedule. Having people that actually help me with certain edits has helped a lot. But before, it was mostly just I just didn't sleep. I just didn't sleep. I would. Percy Jackson, Galaxy says, I would check out Percy Jackson. It's a sleeper hit. Some of our best views since One Piece. Loving the show, but I also read the book. I tried to read the book. I got like 3 or 4 chapters into the first book, and I just stopped. It just couldn't hold my attention when I tried to get into it. I've seen the first movie, if that matters at all, but that's kind of the extent of my Percy Jackson knowledge. It blows my mind seeing a younger Favreau in Friends. Every time I just think this dude started out in the MCU, created Mando, and directed Elf. Yeah, dude, him as the rich savant in Friends, dates Monica, gets that then conquers he conquers the world, like every different category of business, and then it's like time to become the ultimate fighting champion. And that's how they break up. Fun stuff, man. So I've been going back through the Mando, just because I got the steel books for the first 2 seasons, and I think I discovered where they went wrong. And I think that they brought in, and it's when they brought in the Force. I mean, I don't think they went wrong. I do not feel like they changed course at all from what was established initially. The only thing that I do kind of criticize a little bit is that I do think that Grogu wasn't, or at least in the, whether or not it's in universe or out of universe, whatever, perceptibly, if you're just watching the show, he's not gone. You didn't have any time to miss him. That's the only thing I would complain about. I wish they could change or alter, is make us miss Grogu and Den. And I felt like they got him back too fast. That's it. I'm not joking. Someone made this joke. What did one ketchup packet say to the other ketchup packet? Ketchup. Wow, that's bad. Also loved how they got DD out of the way just so they could focus on Maya. Even though DD and Kingpin were the highlights of the show, what was the point though? I mean, it's just world building. It's just to show what she's been involved for. That was like her first day being entrusted with a mission, with being one of like Kingpin's enforcers. It also showcases her ability, her standing, especially in a first time conflict. Like, it was to show where she was at in the timeline, and like in the first episode, it's just to kind of catch us up on shit she's done. That's what the first episode was. Going back to Echo, can we just reiterate how incredible the actors who played Chula and Henry were? And it's always awesome to see Graham Greene pop up. I've been a fan of his ever since Die Hard 3. Dude, I do love me some Graham Greene, man. He's great. And Tattoon, who played Chula, you know, I saw her for the first time in Killers of the Flower Moon, and she was great there. She was really, really good here. Yeah, the whole cast, everybody blew me away in that. We had a couple of seasoned people that I've seen across the way, and yeah, I thought it was really good. Acting was great. You know what the menu stands for? In menu, huh? No, not the, what are you talking about, Sean? I love this season of Echo. That being said, the finale fell flat for me. The final confrontation with Fix was not great. It reminded me a lot of the Avatar conclusion, obviously, like in a lot of ways, which people familiarly also are very mixed on. I feel like the resolution or build up between 4 and 5 was a little quick, but it didn't. It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me. Cool Ranch nacho cheese Doritos with ranch is legitness. Sounds good. Loved one other bald villain in Echo. He's just fun and a blast being evil. Was great as a bad mobster dude in the Bradley Cooper movie Limitless, and one episode of Hitman and Banshee. I just wish he shot the RPG and that guy went. That's my only critique on that one too. I understand what they were trying to do with Echo, wanting to heal Fist's trauma, but the execution just didn't work. I can see that angle. And there's a lot about the logistics of it that I do have questions above, but it didn't bother me. I thought it worked. For me, it worked. Do you think Andy will make a return in Chucky season 3 and it not be a dream? I mean, potentially, but I kind of doubt it right now, to be honest. Galaxy chimes in. I think the issue with season 3 was I love Bo-Katan, but it went from a focus of Din and Grogu to a new focus. Din became a secondary character, and I think that threw things off. I've heard that critique as well. I don't know if I wholly stand by it myself, because Din, while the season was about Bo's redemption, it was actually all about both of their redemptions, though he had already, completed that himself. That was like his arc he completed that in the first, 2-3 episodes. And then it became about redeeming, he redeemed himself, and through his redemption, he was the catalyst that redeemed all of the Mandalorians through Bo. It was all came by, first Bo and then them leading Mandalore as a people and a home to its redemption. And none of the stuff that happened for Bo would have or could have transpired without Mando. He was the inspiration. He was the guide. They picked each other up. Like, he was never not integral. They would not have succeeded. They would have never got anything that they got done without him. He just wasn't the one that was going to be sitting on the throne at the end, if that makes any sense. And I know that kind of causes a little bit of a thing when the guy we're following isn't the person who's going to be rewarded for all the effort and all this kind of stuff. When it feels like they're there to prop somebody else up, I can kind of understand that idea. So I get it. I get it in some respects, but I feel like narratively it makes Din a stronger character to me. Season 3, I think, overall, thematically, is my favorite season. What do you want? She's screaming again. She doesn't like coming into my office for some reason. She came in. See if I can trap her in here. What's your new bed? Why don't you just lay down on the floor? Or you just want back out. God damn it. Spend time with me! Anyway. Where did I leave off? Screw the haters. You don't have to be LGBTQ, but it's 2024 and you have to at least be an ally or get the fuck out. You seem like a good dude and your reviews are great, so keep it up. Well, thank you. I just don't think like there's any sense in, like, I just don't understand the need to just not let people live their fucking lives. You don't have to live their life. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to do what they do. But like being angry, a person exists and is doing absolutely nothing to bother you. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I really don't. Like, how are you that unhappy and that disconnected that you just can't let somebody exist? Just the fact that they pop up on a screen and you fucking I don't fucking get it. Like, get out of my face. Anyway, Annie will be back, and this time will be exact same dream scene, but real, just to piss off the fan base. If that happens, dude, fuck off. I will be done. I will quit. Have I seen Euphoria? I just binge watched both seasons last week. That show is not for the weak. I have not seen Euphoria. This girl I like, Dad won't let me date her because he doesn't like my pickup lines. Because he's jealous he didn't use them on his... Yeah, I don't believe you, Sean. Best part of the Golden Globes for me was seeing the Suits cast reunite to give a best drama to Succession. Harvey Specter. Forever. Hell yeah. You like Namor origin in the MCU? I think he'll play a major role going forward. I didn't mind his origin. I thought it was fine. Will he play a major role? I don't know how, but probably. True, but that's sadly just something inevitable that happens to famous people regardless. But wish them for the best. Exactly. Someone broke into John Wick's house. Did they want to die? I'm so confused. He wasn't home, and apparently all they stole was a gun. Was one of his guns. I don't understand why award shows keep hiring comedians to host. The point of these award shows is to celebrate the visual medium. These comedians regularly demean and belittle the medium. It's dumb. I do feel like a lot of it ends up being really counterintuitive. I mean, I just want to be here for the awards. I don't give a shit. Maybe sometimes a musical performance or something like that, if it is something that is up for nomination or something, that's fine. But that's kind of where I kind of draw the line. You know, I agree with you there on that part. Got Galaxy again here chiming in on our little discussion. No, I agree completely. I think the themes are incredible in Season 3. It just felt a bit off. But I cannot wait for the Mando movie in Season 4. I'm optimistic with the Rey movie. Likewise, on all fronts. I really do hope that the Mando movie doesn't shelve permanently the Season 4 stuff. I hope we still get Season 4 and the movie. I'm excited for all that. I'm really excited to see where we're at with this, like, reset point. Also, likewise, as much as I did not like the sequels, I am optimistic with this new mindset that they have at least going on. I hope with that reflection, you know, we could have a really good Rey movie. Because, again, like anything else, even if I didn't like it, the character I didn't hate. I didn't hate the character. I didn't hate any of the characters, really. I just didn't like the execution and the story. I didn't like some of the choices in the stories that they did. And again, likewise with what we were talking about earlier, I think Daisy Ridley, much like Anakin Skywalker, or Hayden Christensen, much like anybody else, she did a great job with what she was given. I think all the actors did the best they could with what they were given. And I think she's just a great, by all things I've seen, and again, it's just like, you know, what we see on screen is sometimes the best of a person, you know, but she seems like a genuine little, like, person. Like, I would like to see her succeed. You know, I would like to see that character succeed and maybe have some cool stuff done with them. You know, I'm not going to be like, oh shit, never make a Rey thing, but I do feel like they got their work cut out for them trying to win over the greater fandom. Not that they have to. Not that they need to either, but, you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I try not to poop on anything until it happens. You know? Speaking of, do you think Luke will still make appearances as a ghost? I mean, maybe. It is definitely possible, but I feel like we're probably going to want to distance ourselves a little bit from some of that. Would he? Maybe. Could he? Probably. But I'd be fine if he didn't. Just cut the ties and set us promptly in this new world, you know? Where was I? Here we go. I got more criticism about Echo, but with this delay, I can mention one more if you want to hear it. I mean, sure, why not? I'll get to it eventually. What's up, Sephiroth? Been a while. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing pretty solid. There's tiers of canonicity. There are stuff Filoni's involved in with, and there's stuff that he isn't involved in with. I mean, that's also a fair point. That's a fair point. Like, that Barbie joke was stupid. Why the heck would you belittle a movie that was the highest grossing movie of 2023? Yeah, I don't know, man. I get it. Have you heard of The Curse? It's a miniseries with Emma Stone, Nathan Fielder, and Benny Safdie. A24 was part of it and came out recently. I've absolutely heard nothing about it. What's up, Chaotic? This is a completely random question, but it's been bugging me for a while now. When you post the video title, am I supposed to be saying winning or whining with Omni? Well, it's whining in that, well, I have whiskey today, so it's not quite the same. But typically, it started off, I would drink wine, and we would just kind of hang out and shoot the shit. So it's supposed to be whining. So you're saying it the second way, but it's still spelled, I still have it spelled correctly. But it is intended to be like, hey, we're having a couple of sips of some wine, we're getting a little loose, and we're just having fun. You're not the first person to ask that, though. None of the Walking Dead spin-offs have released in the UK, which is so annoying. Dude, I don't know. I haven't watched any of them, but I'm just going to say I feel like you're probably not missing much. I could be completely off about that, but I don't know. Not going to lie, I should watch Reacher, but not sure yet. It's really good. I wasn't sure about it. It didn't seem like it'd maybe be a show that I'd be into, but my God, am I enjoying the fuck out of it. And then here's all the spiel of everybody being like, oh no, internet, Omni went away, he's dead, he died, rejoining, blah, 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 I'm back, internet went out, and I had to reload everything. the I rip your trachea out, and your last thought will be, holy shit, you really did it. That was my favorite line in that episode. It's hilarious. God, that's the thing that about Reacher that caught me the most off guard, is how smartly and hilariously funny it is. We're in a multiverse, though, so I will die on the hill that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon, even if they maybe moved it into a different universe or time. Oh, no, that's confirmed. Like, all Marvel things are canon somewhere. The question is it canon to the sacred timeline? They've confirmed it's canon somewhere. I had in-game deaths ruined, but I freaking love the movie still. I didn't have that, thankfully. But, you know, same with, like, No Way Home. A lot of that got ruined before I even saw the movie. I still fucking love that. If you do the sequels to previous poll winners, and I was only semi-joking. Oh, right. I got you. I was still only including them on the poll if they were suggested. So nobody put those names in the hat, but I also don't want to dilute the poll with sequels, you know? I still think we need Sky in the actual MCU. I don't mind if we have Sky in the MCU. Goddamn, give me some Sky. See, that's another thing. Hold on. Let's come back to the whole woke argument for a second. As a straight man, I like seeing women on TV. I kicking ass, wearing skin tight super suits. Give me more of that. Like, I don't know what the complaint is. Like, come on. Anyway, Jesus. I only watch one show that you react to, plus the movies. I'm here for the vibes in the community. Hell yeah, Janine. Hell yeah. See, that's another thing too. Like, I don't like overloading a single thing on the channel just because I want other people to have other things if they're not in the same sphere as all the other stuff. So I like a little more variety in what we're putting out. So like, that's one of the other reasons why I don't why I'm a little apprehensive about doubling up on stuff throughout the week. You know, if that makes sense. Spider-Man, the animated series, and Beyond the Spider-Verse sounds like a good idea to me. Where's MJ? That's a good point. I have no idea. I think the main reason Marvel Studios don't even talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is because Joss Whedon went behind Kevin Feige's back and pitched it to Marvel Television and ABC, and Kevin eventually caved and said okay. I didn't know all that. Technically, the gym I went to was a fitness class. It was only on Sundays. Dude, I used to go to like Zumba stuff back when I was in college because you could just go and show up for free if you lived on campus. So I would do that. That shit was fun. I don't think I'd pay for it to go do it here, but I like that shit. I'm allergic to exercise. Understandable. Then Joss Whedon went and dropped the show in his brother's lap, and he had to go direct Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Age of Ultron. So I can see why Kevin was a little bitter. I think there was a lot of, from what I've heard, there was a lot of internal not so goodness between the two studios either, you know? I'm a geek for sure, but I don't mind what others think. My passion. Hell yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care a lot of the time about what people think about something else unless it is, like, rooted in, like, this fragile, inhumane, like, unempathetic kind of way. Like, if it has anything to do with any kind of hate at all towards a person, people, creed, whatever, I don't care if it's an opinion. I don't care if it's how you feel. Fuck off. Like, I don't give a shit. That's the only time I will not respect how you feel. I will not respect your thought, your opinion. Your opinion is if it's purely based and rooted in that kind of insensitive bullshit thing that we just do not need. It doesn't help the word. It doesn't help the world. It doesn't help anybody else. It's not helping them. It's just ignorance, and I can't tolerate that shit. I can't, and I won't. I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, the second that enters the conversation, you've just ejected all of your validity out the door for me. So if you did a push-up, what would happen to you? Would you explode? Yes. I'm still counting down to FF7 Rebirth, and it just so happens to be very close to my birthday. Hell yeah, I'm so excited for that. I am so excited for that game, and I'm going to probably take the week off so I can just focus in on it. I actually really like the Percy Jackson show. I know a lot of people have. Just throwing this out there, but I'm still hoping one day you'll play Mass Effect on the channel. Who knows? One day. I've got a massive backlog. Hell, there's a new one coming out in the near future sometime, too. I've still only played the first one. Do chores count as exercise? I do a lot of that. I mean, sometimes, depending on the chore. I used to have to weed eat and mow. And by choice, I would push mow because I hated rider mowers. Even though it would make my day so much quicker, so much easier, I hated riding those things. So I chose to push mow our entire lot for many years. So that's my own stupid choice, but yeah, that's how I did. So that, I think that would qualify for sure. Percy Jackson, what's Percy Jackson? I'm so behind. Sips coffee. FNAF lore? I don't know what that entails. I don't know shit about FNAF. Just watch Percy Jackson. If you watch Percy Jackson, I would 100% watch your reaction to it. Hell yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll cave. Maybe I'll fucking cave. But Star Wars in particular has been really bad as of late. Yes, it is. Terribly bad, man. And the biggest outlet of that on this platform is not helping at all. But we're not going to dive into that. I know, right? It's a shocker. I know, at least my birthday had a few days off. It's surprising, I guess. I walk. Mowing the lawn on a hot summer day counts as exercise when I'm half exercise in winter. The problems with Disney Star Wars are numerous, but ultimately come down to them trying to force Star Wars into an MCU-shaped pipeline. But the MCU built that pipeline organically over the years, and Star Wars isn't Marvel. I agree with that as well. I do agree with that. They tried to, dude. It is the speech from Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park. Before you even know what you had, you started packaging it, punching it, and just started selling it. Before you even knew what you had. Like, that whole spiel, it's exactly what Disney did the second they got Star Wars. They didn't know what they had. They didn't know the gravity of what they were playing with. They thought the Star Wars name would get them, that would be enough to do whatever they needed. And yeah, no, they fucked themselves with that a little bit. I'm a March baby, Aries as well. Also Aries. No, do not count the movies. They really were the furthest thing from the actual source material for Percy Jackson. What's up, Jack? How would you rank the MCU shows? At least the most recent ones. See, I don't remember all of them. I can tell you, I'll give you my top 5. I did this actually early in the stream, but right now, I'll give you my top 5. Like, Loki's my number 1. WandaVision, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, and then I think She-Hulk. I'd have to go back through some of the other ones. I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. Pete and the Octagon. I don't know what that is. We don't talk about the Percy Jackson movies unless it's in the memes. Then that's okay. I don't want peeps to imagine that I'm Jabba the Hutt. I'm definitely not fat, by the way. Just unfit. I'd qualify myself as unfit. Missed the part where I said I'm adopted. So that's why it changed. I was Michael for 2 years and then turned into Sean. Oh, I see. I love Favreau on Friends. Dude, there's so many great little guest stars on Friends, dude. Also, in X-Files. So many. So many. I would love that. What would be some Star Wars what-if stories that you'd like to see? I'd like to see what if Anakin raised Leia and Luke after he turned to the dark side. I would like to see if Anakin didn't turn to the dark side. What if Luke did join him? What if What if Luke never went off with Obi-Wan? What if Leia never became a general? What if Leia stayed a senator? What if, there's a lot of really cool ones that you could probably go down to. And there's an infinite number of ones that I probably wouldn't, I just haven't thought of yet. Adopted people are awesome. They are, or were, chosen. That's true. Me and you. That's what that means. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I was so confused about that. Well, my name was Michael. No one would call me Sean. Sean. I'm okay with my name. I hated being called Mike for a long time, man. I'm an episode behind, but I'm loving Percy Jackson. I'm thinking about rereading the book after. Nice. Well, take for instance MCU. I see women more fanatically persistent following Bucky. Hold on, I'm sorry. Oh, right. This is going back to the difference in men, or the infatuation with men, I think, that comment you said earlier that you see in recent years. I see women more fanatically persistent following Bucky and Loki. Women still write, draw, and buy for them versus Cap and Thor. That is also very, very true. That is very true. They like their broken little bad boys that they can fix, right? I mean, that's kind of what Loki is. Bucky is that fragile, tough guy who just needs to open up, talk. That's like his whole arc in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I get that. That's been a very popular type from the 90s onward, I feel like. It's just that how could you get better than Luke? You can't get more hype than that. You can tell it's a bit of a fall off from season 2 and 3. If they didn't bring the Force in, it wouldn't have happened. See, I don't feel like that. I don't feel like the Luke moment peaked the story at all. It was just a cool moment. I don't think it weighed anything down, and I don't think it. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't agree. Oh no, you don't feel sad for me being dark. It's all good. The only what if in Star Wars I would want to see is what if Ahsoka never left the Order. With Ahsoka having completed her trials, according to Yoda, if she had stayed, Anakin would be master. That's a good point. That'd be a fun one. The Force himself and his destiny is purpose. Tom Holland is still asked and mentioned for his lip sync battle, where people talk about how alluring he was versus his other roles, including Spider-Man. That's interesting. I'm a different race than my parents, so I always knew, so I was always at peace with it, Oh, that adds some kind of easiness to it, I feel like season 3 was also a lot about redeeming Mandalore itself after the mistakes they made along the way, as well as that led their people to being scattered again. And it's a perfect bookend of everything that seasons 1 and 2 has been about. I made a whole tangent about it in my reactions, man, multiple times, and on other streams. It is the culmination of season 1 and season 2. Some people even said that they didn't know what we were here for. They didn't know why we were here. They didn't know what the story was. And it's the problem when you're looking at it as a singular season and not a continuation of what was coming before. Season 3 is the culmination of storylines that were established in episode 1 of season 1. The start of season 3 was in the first 2 seasons. And it was all about finishing those threads, connecting those storylines together and bringing it all together, and for that purpose. And it's through all of those journeys that Din had the knowledge, had the exposure to things outside of his way of thinking that his people needed in order to thrive, return, and redeem themselves and to get their home back. Without Din going out into the world and experiencing it in this way and finding Grogu and opening himself up to these other ways of thinking, while yes, he still chooses to go back to the conclave and to follow the way, he has this purpose and this idea that makes them more open, more accepting, more homogenous with other people, more understanding, and more empathetic as well. Otherwise they would have never worked with Bo, would have never worked with their people, would have never accepted other ways of Mandalorian thinking into their tribe, and it wouldn't have come back to the way it was. You saw echoes of that all throughout season 3 as well. In every episode, there was that duality, in play as in all of them, even the Jack Black episode, which I got so much shit. Thematically, that episode is really, really integral to what was going on in the season. Anyway, I could bitch about it for days, or sing about it for days rather. But because she chose to leave, she didn't achieve the Master of Jedi rank, and Anakin stayed a Jedi Knight and did not progress to Master. Yep, that's true. Would you rather have Cap's shield or Thor's hammer? Like a replica or like the real, like if I could have, god damn it, I lost that. The real thing. I feel like they shouldn't have brought back Grogu for season 3. Or at least delayed it even more. You know, there should have just been a longer gap. You know? I agree with your take on Mando season 3. I feel like Cap's shield would cut me in half coming back to me. Oh yeah, I'd definitely probably kill myself. Fucking around with that thing. Then you have how women magazine portray men. Soft sweaters, sweats, baby animals versus men mag. Shirtless, dehydrated, bulging muscles. That's a very good point. I never really thought about it in that perspective. There's a difference in how that gaze is. It's almost as if, as much as it is for the female eye, and it's not, hey, I see a lot of women be like, oh, that Hemsworth, oh, that Chris Evans. I see a lot of that, you know, when they are stripping down and all that kind of stuff. At the same time, it is kind of like this power fantasy for the men as well. It's like, oh, if I'm like that, then maybe the wind would just, I'd pick your dog to women. I don't know. It is what it is, you know. If she had stayed and accepted the rank of Jedi, Jedi Knight, Anakin would have been a master, and then he would have got appointed to the council as the Sith, and then he would have had a voice of reason that he could trust. So, I agree with you. That's actually a really good, strong point. Have I watched the Jack Black Goosebumps movie? I have. I don't remember any of it, though, but I have watched it once. Is that Kitty? I love cats. Yes. Love cats. Ooh-ah. Guess how many cats I've had in total in my life? I've had like 10, 13? I don't know. How many? I'm not gonna guess. Your new cat's so freaking cute. Yeah, it was just like we were even before Poppy died. We were already eyeing this cat. You know, because you know, with everything going on, you know, we wanted an idea of her having like a companion in the house, because she used to be very against other cats. Like she would fight. She fought a kitten we tried to adopt once and like wouldn't leave it alone. So like we were always afraid to like bring another cat in, even though obviously she was kind of lonely. And we started taking care of a lot of the strays in the neighborhood and letting them into the house, because we got real close and friendly with some of them. Hell, we have one that will come in and just spends the night sometimes. We just open the door, they come in, they eat, they sleep on the couch, and then they just yell when they want to go outside. And you know, she warmed up, so like she got used to it. So like we've been thinking about maybe formally bringing another cat into the house even before all of that. And this cat, Mimi, she was listed as Cordelia at the shelter she was at, but she was they had her on loan to our local PetSmart, and she had been there for like almost 2 months through the winter season, through the holiday season, and like they were, every cat around her was getting picked up, adopted left and right. Like every time we went in and checked, there was a new rotation of cats pretty much, except for her. She was still there that entire time. So we were like, okay, if we go in and she's still there, we're just going to do it. We're just going to get her. And because her little card was the cutest fucking thing ever. Like she had gotten taken in as a stray after being found, I guess, pregnant with like a litter of kittens or whatever. They had all been taken away. She was the last remnant of that family still around. She's only like 2, and you know, it was like now, you know, she's had her litter, and like one of the little things in this, whoever wrote this description of this cat was a genius, because it really worked on us, was like, she's had her babies, but now it's time for her to be the baby, and she just needs to relax and have fun and be the baby herself this time. And you know, and that, I was like, okay. And people are picking this cat up. Now, I kind of get it. You know, you go in, Like, every time we went in, like, I assumed she was probably just depressed or unenergetic or whatever. She wasn't, like, jumping at the cage, anything like this. You know, she was just always asleep. Honestly, anytime we came into the store to get food for our other cats, I say our other cats, but it was just Pop-Tart and the strays, the neighborhood cats. They aren't our cats, but might as well be. But, like, she never moved. Honestly, the day we picked her up was the first time I actually saw her move. So, like, I guess, like, a lot of people were like, okay, well, she just had a bunch of cats. She just had a bunch of kittens. She's very inactive. Maybe she wasn't that appealing. But the second we got her home, she was the brightest, most energetic little cat running around. She's a little tubby, but it's like she's waddling around. And she just lit up. She immediately was loving on all of us. She's playful. She loves to go play. She's just like, it's just like people were just so like, just looking over her, just skipping over her completely. And it just baffles my mind. It's like, it's definitely one of those pure situations where it's like, don't judge a book by its cover. So like, I don't know. It was just, yeah. But she's a cutie. Anyway, sorry. Cat tangent. From what I understand, Mando Season 4 is not happening. The Mandalorian Grogu movie is replacing Season 4. See, that's a little sad, especially since they wrote the whole thing. In the 80s and 90s, you also had actors who were listed as sex symbols. These days, you have A-list, B-list actors. That is true. I mean, we very much shy away from the whole labeling of sex symbols, though. We do have, like, this year's sexiest man or whatever it is. That's about the extent I see of it. And the only one who wants the Disney Plus shows to have physical releases, especially a full collection of CW with Season 7. You are definitely not the only one. You are definitely not the only one. What's up, Ragu? Late as always. Hope you and yours had a great Christmas and New Year's. I'm having a birthday this weekend with a pub crawl. Hell yeah. Also, happy birthday. So who knows what I'm typing. Did I just see a cat? At the time, you definitely did. I did mention all of those. I answered that one earlier. We had 8 at the same time. 8 at the same time? Damn. I've never had that many all at once. The most I've had at one time has been 3. Ginger needs more Poe. I think we all need more Poe. Let's be honest. I don't know about the director who's directing the Rey movie. I forget her. I forget her full name. There she is. I mean, I'm not familiar with any of her work, but I will give anything a chance, man. I've seen a lot of people get upset about some comments she's made in the past that have nothing to do with any of the nothing to do with Star Wars. So I don't know. It is what it is, but I'll 100% give her a chance. I like watching your videos. Well, thank you, D. Cole. I'm glad you guys enjoy them. I could Google it, but I got cheesecake to eat. Daisy will give it her all. She always has. She's not the issue. She was definitely never the issue. She's fantastic. Great cuddle buddies until they lick your ears. Don't get where companies get the idea to just abandon things, like Star Wars anthology films and the different eras being basically ignored because of backlash. Yeah, I don't know either, but I think they just... scaling back, I do think, is the right play, but I do think they took some wrong lessons along the way. How do you always have whiskey when I pop in? I mean, because that's when we have the stream? I don't know. Or you just mean like every time you come, it's never wine. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Would I rather have the Batmobile or Batplane? Probably the Batmobile. Walking Dead City was pretty good. Daryl Dixon was very good in my opinion. And The Ones Who Live looks very promising. I can't believe that Andrew Garfield is actually 40 years old. He could play a teenager and I would believe it. Yeah, he's only 5 years older than me. So waiting on Superman Lois Season 3 here in the UK. Ew. Ah, that sucks. Do I like puzzles? I like some puzzles. Like Rubik's Cubes. Can you solve one? No, I can't solve a Rubik's Cube. And I know people that practice it using the algorithm. That is cheating. I will die on that hill. If you do it because you know the turns and the steps, not because you figured them out, but because you learned the process, you cheated. Team Hulk or Team Thor? Team Thor. It's no one's fault. I get it. Most every stream, someone asks about the whining thing. Oh, no, it's definitely no problem at all. I don't want Dixon to be the villain, but I do like the callback that I knew Icicle was returning in Stargirl, and I want his team to be all good, though. That is a good point, Ragu. You do have the gift, but we'll see. We'll see. Crossing my fingers that everybody's coming out of this clean. I knew about Iron Man, but Widow was a surprise for me. Very true. Good to have a whiskey. Yeah, I didn't know about any of those deaths going into it, thankfully. Good to have a whiskey to celebrate William B. Davis's birthday. He's 86 today, right? God. I'm so glad we got to meet him, man, because honestly, let's say, we don't know how long he's going to be around. Honestly, the way things have been in recent years, I'm surprised he's still around. But I'm glad we both got to meet him. I got both his books signed to me, and I need to sit down and make some time and read them. Characters in the MCU are in Age of Seal, so it's definitely canon somewhere. Oh, 100%. 100%. You're funny and awesome? I try to be. I'm corny as all hell sometimes, though. There's still mentions of Age of Ultron, for example, that do completely hint at the existence of Agent S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Sacred Timeline, so yeah, I'll still die on the hill then. Well then, keep on fighting the good fight. We all got spoiled for the Infinity War deaths. I remember that when Mark Ruffalo interview aired and everybody said, everybody dies. I was like, oh, it's a joke, right? Yeah. I don't remember that. I didn't hear that before the film, thankfully. Omni gets it. We want our superheroines looking good and kicking ass. More female superheroes, I'm down. I don't see a problem with that. Watch reactions to series and movies that I don't even watch. Really? Hell yeah. You probably should. Give them a go. I mean, there's a lot you're not catching. Like, if you enjoy the reactions, I'm sure you'll enjoy the watch. Obviously, it's a time saver in some respects, too. But, you know, it is what it is. I get it. Look at Wonder Woman. We love Wonder Woman. I don't know, man. There's been the tides have turned on Wonder Woman in the last year or two. If you were a Skrull, how would you be able to tell it was the real you? What would be your tell? That's a good question. I don't know. I really, I'm not sure. Because a lot of the basic stuff that I would say immediately also should be pretty obvious to most people if you have any idea about me at all. I don't know if there is like an intricate enough tell that would give me away. Superhero movies are my magic Mike. Fair enough. Enough said. I enjoy seeing the badass ladies too. Neely and Reacher is something special. She must be in every season. I hope so. She's great. Let's see. What's up, Eugene? My wife Karen introduced me to your channel. Now every time we watch a movie or TV show, we always say, let's see if Omni has a review. Aww, that is adorable. Well, welcome, and kudos to your wife for doing the for pulling you in to our little sand trap. So welcome. It makes me curious now what kind of stuff your wife has made you watch with me, or at least kind of poked around in. Yeah, man, there's a lot of haters and disrespectful people out there. Your opinion is one thing, but at least show respect. As a mod on another reaction channel these days, I can attest to that. That's the thing. Yes. That unfortunately, ignorance is a choice. Hate it, but still. Exactly. 100%. The gym I went to was a parkour place, and I had paid for it. Got really hard, but the teacher put us into it slowly. But I'll never do a backflip. Dude, backflips terrify me. I'll front flip, but backflipping, I don't know. My brain, I just can't process it. Buffy, more specifically, Faith was my turning point. Hot women who fight? Hell yes. Dude, Xena, Warrior Princess. That one. that one. You know, let's do it. But I didn't expect it, except I was gay until my late 30s because of the stigma in society and my family. Well, at least you found the way around, you know? It's where you kind of got to weigh in. It's like, how accurate is the, you know, better late than never, man? I mean, it's very true. And it's like, at the end of the day, what's the thing? It's like, you waited until your 30s to finally live your truth? Or would you have been better off pretending for the eternity of your life? I really do think there is truth in the whole saying, you know, it's better late than to never do any of the things. It's better to try it, to get out there. You know, it might not all be good, but live your truth, man. Had to vent somewhere. Ignore if you don't, but Mayu Iwatani was the best wrestler in the world. I don't recognize that name. Oh, I do. I have seen her. Yes, she definitely is familiar to me. I don't pick up on wrestling or anything like that, and I haven't really kept up with it in a really, really long time. But like, yeah, I have seen her picture floating around. Stranger Things has begun with production. I pray that the episodes aren't as long as the episodes in season 4. They are like 1 to 2 hours long. I think they said they will be about the same, but this season is also going to have less episodes than last season, is what I remember reading. And speaking about badass women, dude, Nancy with a shotgun is a kink. let's be real. I'm so happy the Marvel and Netflix shows are canon to the MCU. Me too. Might be a nitpick, but I didn't like how Echo involves her family in her situation without having a second thought. That's just me. I think it's just because they already were. I mean, her uncle already worked for Fisk. They already knew about everything else that was going on, and whether or not she brought them in, it was going to happen regardless. The town already had the Fisk infestation. It has for years. But yeah, I kind of get it. I'm just sitting here for Umbrella Academy, Stranger Things, and Cobra Kai. Hell yeah. Most. Have you seen any of Rachel Brosnahan's projects? Let's see. I don't recognize the name. Oh, okay. She's our new Lois, right? Let's see. Have I seen anything? Sometimes I just don't know a name, but maybe I've seen something that they've been in. Just a quick scan. No, I have not. I haven't seen a single thing she's been in, unfortunately. I love the chat this evening. Hell yeah. I'm glad. You should have slapped the desk when you did that quote. Whoops. Well, I mean, I didn't want to knock anything over. Positive day. Take a shot. First X-Files mission. First X-Files mention, as well as I didn't shadow drop, but I did just straight up say my age, so that still counts. Everyone drink. There's no Percy Jackson films like how there was no Atla film. Omni mentioned X-Files. Drink. Forget about X-Files after season 1. I got distracted with butterflies. How dare you? What if the Star Wars sequels were good? That's a good one. Oof. Oof. Hey. See, that's what I'm saying. That right there. I mean, I'd agree with you. I mean, I'm right there with you. What if they were? But like, it's like that's the kind of mentality you're gonna see an absolute fuck ton of if this comes out. I didn't know that was a thing. I always assumed when kids got adopted, they either kept their full name or had their last name changed no matter to match their adopted parents. Guess that happens. Yeah, I haven't thought about that too. I would assume that they would typically keep the name that they were used to at that point, but I don't know. I don't really know anybody that has been adopted. I am making my Lego customs. Eric Voss for New Rockstars. Hell yeah. One Piece anime really knows how to put time in your day. Yes, it does. I think they should have a Star Wars Visions with Marvel, and I think that would be awesome. I was thinking about that too. I think that would be really, really freaking cool. Bucky and Loki, yum. Someone up in chat mentioned Jon Favreau and Friends, and I just looked at his other acting roles, and he was in The Sopranos too. I've never seen The Sopranos. Never seen it. I love Mean Not Win. There's a joke or question. I gotta share that. Okay. I mean, I do too. She's also fine as hell, dude. Man, when I rewatched the first trailer for The Force Awakens, it still gives me chills, and I was in the 5th or 6th grade when I watched it. The trailers were all good, man. The trailers were all good. Oh shit, I missed a super chat. Is the tongue origin in Mandalorians canon? The tongue origin? I mean, everything in The Mandalorian is canon, but I don't know what you're... I don't think so. Oh, okay, these guys. I don't believe so. No, apparently. There is canon information for them. Very, very little. Actually, there was only one mention in the 61st issue of Star Wars Build the Millennium Falcon. That was the first and only mention of them in the current canon. Yes, all the yes, and agreement completed what you said about the Mando. Couldn't agree more. Hammer. Why do people hate that Jack Black and Lizzo episode so much? I like the droid chase scene. I liked a lot of the episode. I don't know. I just because actors in Star Wars. I don't know. Yeah, it's normal, very if what it is, in my opinion. Is what it is, yeah. There was a salmon ladder at the gym, and all I could think of was shirtless Stephen ML. Hell yeah, man. That's all I could think of, too. A big man, 15 and a half years old now. His anxiety, asthma, and he's a cat who basically a giant lump until a dog shows up. He's a big, strong boy, ready to fight, no matter how big the dog is. Hell yeah. A friend of mine told me the new X-Men cartoon is going to be woke. I knew we were in trouble. X-Men was woke before we even heard of wokeness. That's the point. I love home, though. That is... When dude, when they said that about 97, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand how people are so stupid. I don't sometimes. Like, how do you miss the point that hard? Marketing. Like, marketing. But you should have just left it as it was. You don't explain it. Cute story about Mimi. I would have done the same thing. Were you working on a catio? Did you get it finished? Not really. I have right now I just have a plastic fold-out table out there to cover up some of the weather, like the rain and all that stuff, and food bowls set up along the wall outside. So I have to anything that doesn't get eaten during the day, the raccoons finish off in the night. My niece picked up a new dog the other day. My brothers-in-law were very wary of getting another dog because one of their dogs had to be put down last year, but they were so happy. She's so cute. Oh, that's awesome. Just needed the right family. Glad she could finally be the babe. She's such a babe. Never apologize for a cat tangent. Love cat. Din and Ahsoka, Luke, Bo-Katan, all have kind hearts. Bo-Katan had like she had a coming around. She was a bit of a brash, rough around the edges person initially. She had to have like a warming or a melting of the soul. Luke was kind of always that way. Ahsoka also always that way. Bo-Katan had to kind of have her Grinch heart like expanded. Because she was all on that Death Watch train for a while. Thinking if the execs and creatives at Disney had any answers to the interesting setups in The Force Awakens sequels wouldn't be such trash. Only The Last Jedi stands out on its own as a movie. The Force Awakens relies too much on the OT. And so much on just setting up everything for disappointment too, you know? Actually, from what I heard, the most recent is that season 4 is in fact still happening, but we'll have to see. Yeah, I feel like no one knows right now, you know? Sexiest Man of the Year, Pedro, was robbed last year. Eagerly awaiting more Andor. You missed my Marvel super chat. Did I miss one? Oh, I did. I am so sorry. Who wins? Captain Marvel versus Kingpin. In a fight? Dude, Captain Marvel would just, like, fart and Kingpin would die. I mean, okay, it's a bit of an exaggeration, but, like, she would whoop his ass so easily. It's not even a fight. Not even a fight. Hold on a second. Okay. Where did I leave off? Where was it? I'm eagerly awaiting more Andor. Me too. Never saw Aquaman. I thought it was fine. It was fun. It was fun. Oh, in Daredevil Born Again news, I don't know if this has been said yet. Foggy and Karen are coming back. Again, yeah, that came up a few times. I don't know if I trust the source as much as I want it to be true, though. I want it to be true, but the source seems so sketcy to me. But crossing my fingers, it's true. Currently have 6 cats, got 2 kittens as a Christmas gift last month, and they're really cute. Aww. None of the actors were the issue. If the sequels were written by the same person, we wouldn't have had it been as bad. I agree. What it needed was a vision. Or one voice throughout. I meant whenever I pop on the stream. It's never wine, it's always whiskey. If you guys have ever seen 15 cars, make sure to be stacked on a kitty litter and food and cat toys. Oh man, it means we'll know when Superman Lois will be released. The UK tears will resalt the seas. Tears, not tears. Tears. If you could revive any show and give it one more season, what show would it be? Constantine. At least is the first one that comes to mind. And comedy is subjective, but I think Omni lands most of his jokes and can always put a smile on the face. At least I'm dumb as hell sometimes, and even my corniness sometimes, hopefully, is at least endearing. Remember Firefly. If I was a Skrull, you know, because Skrull me would like strawberry jam versus raspberry, which is by far the superior jam. What a class. Always really want more female-led comic book movies. By the way, how do you feel about a Zatanna film? Dude, I've been screaming for the Zatanna movie for a long time. I want it to come out, and now I don't think it's ever going to with the whole change-up. Obviously, it could fit into the DCU since it never came out in anything before. But please, I want Zatanna, damn it. Jesus. Ow. Dropping these fucking things. Anyway, okay. I bring back Everything Sucks on Netflix. I was mad when it got canceled after one season. That was one of the greatest Netflix shows ever. I don't think I've ever heard of that. If there's a series or movie reactions that I get into, I stop the reaction and watch it. Okay, cool. That's awesome. I remember they announced the Zatanna film was in development for a while now, and I'm not sure if it's happening anymore because of the DCU. I mean, they've never said it's not. So who knows? I thought I was very much straight until I was till in Breath of the Wild Link. Now I'm bi and into twinks. I'll say I never knew I was into fish people. Not that I am, but I did think Mifo was pretty fucking cute. Yeah, dude, I get it. I've heard that same sentiment, man. Speaking of, I need to finish Breath of the Wild. Speaking of, kind of going back to our same kind of similar thing with women in movies and shows. You know, you know, when I was younger, I bumped into this sometimes. I was like, ooh, I don't want to play as a girl. I don't want to be the girl. I'm not a girl. You know, that kind of thing. I saw people were bitching that there was no choice to be a man in the new Star Wars Outlaw game, where there's so many games where that's never the case. It's not like in Jedi Survivor you can not be Cal Kestis. Like, it's just like, anyway. Now, I used to be like that, obviously, when I was like, ew, cuties, kind of, in that kind of phase. Now I'm like, dude, give me a third-person angle and give me that booty. Like, I'm not, like, I don't understand, like, the hang-up anymore. Like, I really, I really don't. Like, it just befuddles me. It just screams insecurity. And at the end of the day, like, we're still all human. We still share so many of the same experiences. I don't understand how it's so hard to connect and relate to somebody, barring a certain little category or division. Like, we all pretty much experience a lot of the same shit. We have the same feelings. We have the same emotions. You know, like, we're fucking people. We're fucking human. Like, I don't know. Like, there's these, like, oh, he's black, so I can't connect. Oh, he's gay, so I just don't get it. You're a person. You've been bullied. You've been downtrodden. You've been pushed down. Is your life fucking perfect? Like, I don't know how you just don't connect. Like, maybe, obviously, there's gonna be shades of gray. There's gonna be differences. But at the end of the day, we all fucking experience and want the same shit. Or should. Like, I don't understand it. Anyway, hello, welcome to my TED Talk. Anyway, give me that video game hot chick booty. Like, why not? Dude, half the time when I'm playing Fortnite, I got a girl avatar on there because goddamn that poison ivy they made was thick. Same with Chun-Li, dude. Looking at that the entire time, and that's why I'm fucking losing every match. Anyway, I was actually a really big fan of the super long episodes of Stranger Things. Likewise, Lucy Lawless, best, hell yeah. When she popped, well, I mean, you guys, most of you guys watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She pops up at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I was like, wait, is that? Because I hadn't seen her in a long time. And I had to look to double check, and I was like, oh shit, it is. Because she was also in X-Files. Drink again. There's also badass female characters in anime. Love them. Tons and tons and tons. Nancy with any weapon does it for me. Agreed. I'm going to check out the new Shogun series. Actually, I think you copy and pasted this same message. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I am thinking about it. Am I going to watch True Detective Season 4 tomorrow? I've never seen a single episode of True Detective, so that's a big old nope. If I was caught up, maybe, but I'm definitely not. You know what show I forgot about in game? Gotham Knights. Dude, I forget about both of those so often. Rachel Brosnahan is the most known for being the main lead in the show called The Marvelous Miss Maisel. I haven't seen it, but I'm planning to soon. I've heard really good things about that. I didn't know who was in it though. I'll down the hill. The Last Jedi was the best sequel. At least Johnson tried taking it in a new direction. Hey, opinions are had. Nancy doesn't love Steve or Jonathan. She loves fire. She loves to fire ARs. Yeah, she loved it good. When I was adopted by my stepdad, I just tacked on his last name, making my full name 5 names long. If I ever get married, it'll be 6 names long. Behold, my last names are families I've left in my wake. That is kind of crazy. That's awesome, though. She loves fire. You think that the sequel trilogy will someday be accepted like the prequels are now? I don't know. Maybe. Right now, it just gets harder and harder and harder for people to see eye to eye. And I'm not sure if we're coming back from it, man. Social media really fucked us up on that front. It's got its pluses and ups and downs, man. That's a big old down. Nancy is a bamf. Yes, she is. For everyone thirsty over Omn1, just know she's 60 and a grandma. Fit as hell grandma. She's hot, no judgment. Oh, yeah, dude. Total fucking gilf. Like, she's beautiful. Like, gorgeous. Star Wars prequels were hated back then, and now they're absolutely loved. Yeah, I never really thought I would be in that way, because like I never understood all the hate the prequels really got. I enjoyed all of it growing up. I didn't really bump into that myself when I became a little, and it wasn't even. I liked Episode 7. I liked it. I thought it was fine enough, but all the answers to all the setups and the way it was handled in the next 2, I found myself living so long I became the villain. Though I wouldn't call myself a villain. As much as it really pissed me off in a lot of ways, and I just really didn't like a lot of things that were done, I I've not let it hamper my enjoyment of Star Wars as a whole. You know, like it's completely consumed a vast majority of people, and at this point, I'm just too exhausted to talk about it. I just don't care enough about those movies to continue to bitch about those movies at this point. Especially since Star Wars has been feeding me so much stuff that takes place before then, and I'm just trying to pretend I'd never watched them. I don't care. If I don't like it, I don't need to talk about it. That's kind of where I'm at this point, at this age. I'm like, if I don't like it, I'll share my thoughts, and I try not to bring it up. I try just not to dabble into it. Obviously, it's going to come up sometimes. Obviously, my thoughts have to be shared sometimes, but for the most part, like, it's better for me to just leave it be and move on. If I didn't like it, it's not for me. It's not going to be for me. Or maybe my opinions will change in the future. I don't know. Right now, it's just best not to poo-poo on other people's enjoyment. That's where I'm at on it. Unless it's Titan Season 1. Have to go. Had a great time. Good night, everyone. Take it easy, Sketch. Legos are too expensive these days. Yes, they are. Got a couple more discs to go with the Batman animated series, and I'll be starting my rewatch of 97. Hell yeah. Or in preparation for 97, right? Very much plan on either hyphenating, mashing up, or creating a new last name with my future spouse. I've considered just dropping my name and taking theirs, you know. But I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that. Would everyone be cool if Echo turns out to be a mutant and is a peripheral or even main member of the X-Men for a bit? I like what they did with her inherited powers, but not sure how it fits aside. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd be fine either way, but I don't know about her being a mutant. But either way, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they do with it. Just because I think it's weird and that it's still socially expected for women to take their husband's name. That's also valid. Avengers Lego Tower set is like $500. Fuck that. Then again, I cannot really say that. I just spent $220 today on 3 Funko Pops. I've spent $500 on Funkos in the last month. Because the full Yu Yu Hakusho set, not even the full set, the main set, was I got for $250 on eBay. Let's see. I worked for someone who had a hyphenated surname, and she was married to someone with a hyphenated surname, which created a new surname because they thought it would be cruel for their future kids. So they just made up a whole new name. I mean, yeah, that would be crazy, having a 4 hyphenated name. Wow. That would just be a lot to write up. Like, no form is built for that. Kingpin would beat Captain Marvel with the power of the McRib. What? I don't even know what that joke's supposed to be. Bo changed as soon as Death Watch went too far when Maul came in and planned to kill Pre and Satine. Yep. That was her wake-up call that they were not on the right side of these things. The power of intense screaming. I heard Haley Bailey is being thrown around for Zatanna. Not my ideal choice. I like accuracy, but not opposed to it either. I mean, she's fine. She definitely wouldn't be my first choice. She was fine in Little Mermaid, but I don't know if I could see... I don't know if she's got like a... I don't know. I haven't seen her in anything else, so I can't compare her performances and other things, but definitely wouldn't be my go-to for Zatanna. But who knows? We'll see. I'm open-minded to anything they might try. Let's see. Ha ha ha. 2.5 hours and the whiskey is kicked in. It kinda is. Dude, you need Christ. I do the same thing. Do I? Or should I go down to the river to pray? Dude, that song has just been stuck in my head since I watched episode 4 of Echo. I like that song just in general. I love the harmony of it. The intonation throughout it. It's a song I've always really, really enjoyed. And when it came in there, it's been implanted in my brain. Nier Automata? To be. Enough said. Oh my god. Yes. In my opinion, though, A2 is the superior model. So hot. Dude. That's why I can't wait for Tifa, man. Square Enix gives us some babes, dude. Man, Lulu messed me up when I was a kid. I mean, my first one was Tifa and her Lego-looking big boobed ass. Like, in all that, even in those cutscenes, man, that somehow did it for me. Then again, it was back in the day, dude. Lara Croft's triangle pyramid titties did it for me too, but it is what it is. Evolve with the times. As a black man, I love playing my girl avatars in Fortnite. Hell yeah. Saw Stranger Things stage show here in London. It was brilliant. Really well done. Made me more excited for season 5. I'm curious about it. I know I'll never get to see it. Definitely not live. But I really just want to know the story because it's all new information from what I understand. And canon. Right now, the sequels are just in a weird spot. They very much so are. That's for sure. Also, I think each new season of True Detective is a separate story and cast. Is it? Oh. I'm weird. I would still want to watch the beginning. I know American Horror Story is the same way. Well, up until a point, until they started bleeding into one another. But I would have still started at the beginning, I think, even if I did watch it. Ming is wow. She's 60 and she looks amazing. Yes, she does. Silverhand, what's up? How's your week been? It's been pretty good. Work was a little busy this week. It was a little crazy, but you know, the last 2 days kind of slowed down a little bit, and it's been fun. It's been fun. I'm going to enjoy at least having Monday off, which is good. Twinks are hot. Oh god, I'm getting burpy now, dude. What are your overall thoughts on Echo, and do you want a season 2? I really enjoyed it. It definitely had some problems. It had some mess, but I had a fun time. I liked the story with Maya. I loved the performances. I thought the acting was really good, as well as the soundtrack and the music. I liked it a lot. I think it had the problem that it suffered with most was the pacing overall. I think the pacing was the biggest hindrance to it. I was able to date Ming-Na Wen, no hesitation. 8 months of one of my favorite YouTube members. Oh, thank you, Moon Queen. You've been around for some time, supporting the channel. I appreciate it. You have no idea how much you guys help me out. Ralph Macchio is 62, which I'm also surprised by. That blows my mind. Like, he and Jackie Chan, you know, they're going to be coming up in this movie together. They are around the same age, and Ralph Macchio looks like 10 years, 15 years younger. It's crazy. And also the fact that he was the same age, if not, I think he was older at the time in Karate Kid 3. He's older than the guy that plays Terry Silver. And in that movie, he's playing the adult and he's playing the teenager just coming out of high school. Dude, Ralph Macchio was blessed by the gene god. She's like the female Tom Cruise. It looks good for her age. Omni Titan season 1 was good, like a 6. Hey, I understand some people like it. It's the worst thing I've watched. For me, I think it's like not a 0. That's, I've said, like, I've got onto people for being hyperbolic. It's like a 2. It's a 2 or 3 for me. And I cannot, for me personally, in good faith, give it anything higher than that. Did you hear about the Star Wars What If show that might be coming up soon? What episodes you were going to see? We already kind of touched on that. You know, what if Anakin didn't turn to the dark side? What if Anakin didn't get trained? What if Luke did? What if Luke joined? What if Luke joined Anakin? What if Leia never became a general and just stayed to politics? What if Luke never left and joined the rebellion and never left with Obi-Wan? You know, those are some fun ones. Also bet that Kingdom King Yo is also more than $100, so I'd get it anyway if I could. Actually, I don't remember. I think it was like $50. I mean, they're foam. They're licensed. They were the ones that GameStop was selling. I don't remember how much it actually was. I don't think it was. It definitely wasn't $100. It was definitely cheaper than that. But I would have got it anyway. Like, if it was more than that, I would pay, well, not anything, but I would pay an unreasonable amount of money if somebody could make me either an actual die-cast metal Keyblade, or like one actually made out of like steel. Like I would fork some money over for that without hesitation. I grew up with Karate Kid OG trilogy, and damn, Ralph Macchio can't be that old. Yeah, he was like 20. How old was he in the first one? He was like 25, 26 in the first Karate Kid movie or something like that, I think. I'm waiting for my bonus to come in, and I'm spending 300 pounds on Lego Pac-Man. Hell yeah. I'm on book 2 of my Lego Hogwarts. God damn it, man. There's multiple books of these things? What do you think of Mickey Mouse being public domain now? The fact that there's 2 horror movies with him happening. Well, specifically, Steamboat Willie Mickey. No other version of that character. But it is fucking weird. In 10 years, in the next couple of years, I think 38 or maybe 40s, I don't know, in 2030 something and 2040 something, sometime in the next decade or so, I know Superman and Batman go public domain, and that will be weird. Kindly request pictures in the Discord. Sure. Just thought about combing through last names into one last name. Anyone here have a major thing for Catherine Hahn? Niagara Hogner, she was, why? She was captivating. Dude, when she was in that workout suit in like the episode where she was hanging out with the babies and she was just like shaking her, whatever that line she said about her ham, I was just like, yeah, I get it. I get that one. What do you think about the casting choice for Abby in The Last of Us 2? I talked about this earlier. Great casting. She's got the look. She's just going to have to really hit the gym hard. Bulk up like hell to play, at least to deliver game Abby. She looks great for like flashback Abby, but like she's going to have to put some muscle on, that's for sure. Would you be interested in playing Batman in DCU? Who would I think would be interested? I'd like Alan Ritchson or Jensen Ackles. Those are the two that I've kind of been behind for a while. Lego Answer Tower said is 6 OG Avengers, Vision, Wanda, Falcon, Ultron, Sheen, Loki, and a key Kevin Feige. Ooh. Do you like the Goofy movie? I do. Stand Out is one of those is an absolute tune. I do love that song. I'm hoping for the sequels to get their CW treatment, Clone Wars treatment, and then the fandom will rejoice. That's what I feel like all of this is. Everything Disney is doing with all these other shows is to help give you the context and the backstory that felt absent coming back into the world of Star Wars. And hopefully with all of that, eventually some of that stuff might feel a little bit better. It was very weird for me to see the spirituality in Echo, just because I grew up with it being hammered into my brain that other spiritual beliefs are incompatible with Christianity. That's why I like these, like DC and Marvel and stuff like that. And the X-Files. Here we go, bringing it up again. Everything exists. Like, no one belief gets discounted in any of them. Some might get more focused than others, but no one is really kind of shunned out, you know? I think every culture has some piece of the truth. I don't think anyone has all of the answers. And there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of things that kind of bring over, but I don't know. That's why I'm just trying to be very open-minded about all of it. And I love seeing all those different perspectives. And like, yeah, I was raised Christian. I went to church every Sunday, and that's one of the reasons why I do still have that tune stuck in my head. I do like that tune. And I still very much am more leaning that direction, obviously, in a lot of ways, because that's kind of where I've been rooted in. It's where my Mortal Kombat was set at. You know, that's where all that was kind of set in my brain, you know. But like, I also acknowledge it's turned a lot of people to shit. And well, not even, it's always kind of been like that, I guess, but social media in like the recent years have really shed some undeniable light on a lot of that. It's one of the main reasons I don't really talk about all that kind of stuff half the time. But I just love hearing perspectives. I've never been like closed off to anything like that, despite, you know, being raised like that. My mom, like, she's old-fashioned in some ways. She doesn't get some certain things in these days. But the thing is, like, she never hammered a single idea to me. Like, she pretty much just like trusted me to make my own decisions. And I feel like that's one of the things that really helped me kind of navigate a lot of the world in this way, and to be a little more open and accepting about ideas that I've never been that I've never interacted with. You know, I grew up in a small town, man, small backwoods town. No, I wouldn't say backwoods. It's not backwoods. It's not that. There's other towns farther away. There are definitely way more in that category. The town I grew up in was like just a couple hundred people. You know, it's not a lot. You know, everybody knew everybody. Our high school had a higher population than the town I grew up in. You know, we all pretty much went, there's only 3 churches. Everybody went to the same ones. Everybody knew each other. And I thankfully never saw, growing up, any of that stuff. So I never had any of that reinforced into me, which was nice and surprising to see in hindsight. You know, I don't know. Anyway, that was a weird little tangent to get into. The idea that different cultures and spiritual ideas can coexist is a brand new concept to me, and I was pleasantly surprised. I like that, though. I like when that happens, because I like that. I like the idea that we don't know everything. I don't like I personally find it uncomfortable when you feel like if somebody claims they have every answer, I'm like, I don't believe you. Like, I can't fathom that, and I don't think that's wholly 100% accurate. In some ways, you know, I don't know. It's a complicated thing. Like, I do have some beliefs that I lean one way or the other on, but like I don't pretend that I have every answer. And I don't believe that anybody really has every answer. We're all just hoping for the best. And at the end of the day, all I'm setting out to do is to not bring anybody else down. Like, at the end of the day, like, I don't know, like, a lot of this comes from how I was raised in the church, you know, and I guess I didn't get tampered with any of the bad sides of it. I guess somehow that didn't seep in. And then if you combine that morality with what is kind of reinforced in comic books, in Star Wars, in our heroes that we kind of grew up with, I just feel like that's where a lot of my morality has kind of been, the foundation for that has kind of been built. So, like, as long as, like, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, as long as you are genuine, as long as you are open, as long as you are empathetic, like, as long as, like, whatever, as long as you're not actively trying to hurt people, put people down, not belittling people, I don't care what you believe. And I don't think anybody has all of the answers. We might have some might have more than the others, but I do not believe anybody's got all of the answers. And I feel like a lot of that could also be very heavily manipulated. Like, you know, the world is so unknowable, and we know so little about it. Like, it's hard. It's just hard to navigate. This went into a direction I haven't touched on the channel before, but here we are. Anyway, fun little TED Talk. Is Solo accepted now? Which I was also like, I mean, I don't mind Solo. I thought it was fine. I thought it was the finest Star Wars movie. It was very okay. I liked it. I don't know. I think it's had a really weird roundabout journey from release to now. Stranger Things stage show was mostly set in 1959 with Joyce and Hopper, etc. are in their last year of high school, and the Creel family arrive in Hawkins. I'm sure it'll be headed into the U.S. See, it's that stuff. Then there's a canon VR game coming out too about Vecna I want to play. Wasp of those aliens in the first movie, second Captain America in-game in the Tony Shield suit. Tom Cruise is starting to show his age now too, though. He very much so is. What's my favorite or best moment of 2023? One of my best moments was meeting Tamara Morrison and having a proper combo with him about the Boba Fett show and getting 2 signatures and a quote on my helmet. I'd say in 2023, some of my favorite moments was, my highlight of the year was going to File Fest and meeting all these people, actors and creators, and the creator of my favorite show of all time, The X-Files. I met Chris Carter. I had dinner with Chris Carter and Frank Spotnitz, and got to ask them all kinds of questions. I got to sit down and talk at least a little bit with Annabeth Gish, I got to talk with Mitch Filligy. I got to talk with all these different people, and it was just so much fun. And then, of course, last year, I also met Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox, though I didn't really get a lot of time to hang out with them or anything like that. I also met Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin. That was really cool. You know, a lot of that was, those are a lot of my highlights before that. What if Padme didn't die? That is also a very good one. Still moves like he's young. He very much, well, I mean, yeah, in some ways. He definitely had to rework a lot of those muscles. We all agree that FFR2 doesn't let us change Cloud and the gang into alternate outfits. That would be disappointing. I need some appearance customization in that game. I personally don't, but I believe that there is. I would not like that personally, because for those games, I like having everybody have like a current like staple the entire way through. For that series, that's one of those times where I don't really like playing dress up with my characters, if that makes sense. I bet I would beat Hell Square. We'll do a record keep it a few years back, but I can't remember how it was. I saw they did an official one, but it wasn't like something they sold, which sucks. There's that plastic one that they have on the website right now, which is like $60, $50, something like that, where it shines a light on the wall, which is kind of silly to me. But, you know, nice to give it a 5 or 4, season 3 or 4. Bling Falcon looks like an A3 size, about kilograms, 5 kilograms, sorry. Makes me wonder how DC will handle the heroes going into public domain. That'll be really weird once it gets to that point. I love Doom Patrol. Let's go DP team. What's up, KN? Have a great week, dude. Thank you. I hope you have a good week as well. I like how the actor of Negative Man is now in the Flash and the new animated DC stuff. That's cool. Someone with a lot of religious trauma. All that baggage has basically led me to abandon all spirituality and religion. I do wish there was more representation for the irreligious. I do feel like there's a lot of that, personally. I see a lot of that. I like seeing, like, a blend. I like seeing that these kind of can coexist. Like, as much as, like, something like Midnight Mass was this, like, kind of indictment of the dangers of organized religion, I love at the end of the day, it was two heavily religious people. One's like crazily religious person, one religious person but with an open mind, and one atheist, and someone from a completely different culture and belief system all together. It was all about them coming together and saving as many lives as they could at the end of the day. And that's another beautiful thing. Mike Flanagan is, as much as a non-believer he is, he really understands the human condition. At the end of the day, like if that's what I gauge everything on. It doesn't matter what I think rules or conducts the world or how it came to be. At the end of the day, am I helping or hurting the people around me is kind of what it all boils down to for me. Hey man, just watch your reaction to Echo. Honestly, one of the best Marvel series I've seen. You gotta feel the love in the season, which is wonderful, and yes, ultimately, it did feel very rushed. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad some people more people than not seem to be enjoying it for the most part. I mean, I'm all for accuracy, but do we really need Abby with gorilla arms in the show? No, but I'm just saying, like, the actress is, like, very twiggy. What if Shmi was freed? What if the Clone Wars never started? What if Ahsoka joined Obi-Wan on Mustafar? I have a list of like 50 plus episodes just on the prequel movies alone. So much opportunity. Very true. Yeah, I agree when shows have it open-minded with spirituality. Likewise, I feel like it's the people. Those people who use spiritual warfare to support their bigotry pisses me off. I 100% agree with that. I agree with you 1000% right there. That's another thing too I really liked, and I feel weird kind of getting into this conversation, but like in Midnight Club, you know, I forget the character's name, but she was very religious. You know, she was the one that was like, she was the God-fearing child. Like, she was all about the Bible, all about all this stuff, and at the end of the day, her growth was kind of being able to accept everybody in the room, and her journey at the end of the day, while still believing in God, was like, I don't believe a loving God would hate love. And that's kind of where I end the day. Like, regardless of how it all is, I think everything and anything is all preceded by some kind of love, or it's kind of tertiary emotions or associations. I think if anything is rooted in love, or whether it be a love of a thing, the love of a person, no matter who, what, or what it is, how can that be bad? And how could any loving being hate that thing? This might be territory we shouldn't be talking about or dividing or whatever, but I feel like it's a pretty based thing to say. I know it gets a lot of people really tight talking about certain stuff, but like that's where I'm at. So but yeah, I agree. I stay away from the discussion, and I always have an open mind for any discussion regardless, and it's what others should do if they can. Agreed. 3 interesting facts. Ellen Richardson. 1, he's bipolar. Yeah, I've been watching his podcast and stuff like that. He's a Christianity YouTuber called InstaChurch. I started watching a couple of those videos as well, because I was very curious about that once he brought it up on this latest podcast of Michael Rosenbaum where he returned. I watched his first one, and that's what made me really want to check out more of his work, was his first interview when he talked about wanting to end his life and how he almost did, and the story about that and his depression. And the fact that he was that vulnerable is wild to me. I always get a major respect, no matter what, when people are just unloading like that about the struggles that they've been through. So that really turned me on to that. And I haven't finished his current interview. I keep stopping and starting it. But when he talked about his little InstaChurch thing, I wanted to check it out and see what it's like, what it's about. And honestly, it's one of those things where, as much as you hear Christianity, especially these days, and you kind of get a little apprehensive at times, a little like, okay, what are we doing here? A lot of the stuff I've seen, and I haven't seen a lot of it, I've seen some of it, he seems very based, which I respect. He went full Reacher mode on a car break-in in Paris while on a date with his wife. I did hear about that as well, which was awesome. Agreed, no one truly has the answers, and the best way to stay open-minded about anything. Hell yeah. Got some agreement. I like that. I like it. Life is a mystery. For anyone else who grew up Christian and is struggling, there's a lot more knowledge and experience in culture and beauty beyond the church. Ask questions about everything and you'll be all right. I agree with that. And I don't even think that anything else can, like, even if, like, I don't even think you have to be worried about that changing where you come from either. I mean, like, no matter what you grow up believing, you can use any bit of knowledge, whether it's from your belief system or another one. If it helps better your perception, your way of life, and helps you help people, fucking open yourself up to that. May I interest you in the Church of Deneen? All donations go towards the Lego purchases. Just be curious, as Ted Lasso advised. Learn as much as you can. See, that's a good example. Ted Lasso. Very much so. He gives off that churchy kind of vibe. But do you see him putting people down? Do you see him discriminating? Do you see him counting people out? No. He's open. He's walking around with open arms. And, he's there to help people, to better people. He's not latched down to this one thing. It is all about love, growth, and helping people at the end of the day. Like, oh my God, I love Ted Lasso. Anyway. I'm a recovering Catholic, so I understand the Christian side of things. However, in adulthood, I got to see more sides of life, and as long as no one is hurt, I see no problems with others finding bliss. Exactly. I just started watching Breaking Bad. I'm on season 2, episode 3 now, and God, I finally get the hype. Hell yeah, shit's getting good. If you're right there, you're in a good little sweet spot, by the way. I was blessed and happy my family is very respectful towards everyone, so here I am, believers or non-believers are my friends. Same. Like, I'm the only one of my friends that doesn't go to church anymore. Pretty sure all of my core original group still go. Honestly, when we were all hanging out in high school and stuff like that, I think only one actually actively did. Some kind of found their way back. I'm kind of still off my own little island, but that's also because I feel like, for me, the way I am approaching my life just works better for me. I don't know that the church life is for me anymore. I don't know, but that's just me. I want to get my information from experiencing the world and feeling those energies myself, or whatever, or however you want to explain it. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's some weird kind of hubris I have, but I just feel like I lose myself. I'm not perfect. I have a temper. I throw off. I've hurt people. Like, I'm not going to pretend I didn't, but at least at the end of the day, I know when that happens, and I'm trying to be better about guiding myself, if that makes sense. I don't know. The way things have been, I trust myself more than I trust the majority of other people half the time. I like that answer about spirituality. I also like the cheerful nature of the stream and the people in the chat. It's been very, very respectful, and I really appreciate that. UK based, but overseas worshippers are accepted. It's getting a little close to the chat. I think the Star Wars The Force Awakens might be my favorite movie. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I'm all for that. I was talking about Dick Van Dyke, but still being able to do a step in time. Oh, right. On Bamboo in 92 or 98, and I was watching a celebration thing. I did see some clips from that, and it's pretty fucking insane. Especially at that age. Great Michael Brooks said it best in my opinion. Be ruthless against systems, but compassionate with people. Something like that. Give or take. That's a very, very good sentiment. Got any new reactions coming? As much as you have no Monarch and no Reacher soon. Yeah, Monarch has ended. Reacher has ended. I mentioned earlier, you know, I might use this time to catch up on those movie franchises I was talking about earlier. I know that on the 24th? 25th? I know the week, either the I think it's the 25th. I think on the 25th, Masters of the Universe Revolution comes out. I'll be covering that. But I think I'm going to try to catch up on some of those movies and maybe kind of lean in that direction for a little while. And I did watch the trailer for Has Been Hotel, and I'm not going to lie, it looked pretty fucking awesome. So I may watch that. It being a musical, I don't know how to navigate that on YouTube, so I don't know. I'm a little apprehensive about it, but I don't know. And then, of course, I suggest maybe Percy Jackson. Maybe I'll start Percy Jackson. Maybe. I was raised in a very Catholic family who had no rights to be judging anyone by their life choices. Life lessons. Be nice to nice people. Don't worry, Omni, it's also a topic we don't talk too much about, and talking about it at least is enough. I appreciate that. We can keep it outside here. I hope no one dies in Reacher, and no one betrays them. You convinced me to think O'Donnell was a bit off up until we saw the kids, and Dixon was dodgy until we saw her get stabbed. I'm hoping, yeah, I'm glad that at least it's leaning away from all of that. I want them all to be clean. What if Palpatine didn't succeed in any of his plans? Well, then we wouldn't have a lot of stuff going on. Do you think Swan is alive, or do you think the Master's Sifo-Dyas type of thing where he was blamed for everything, but in reality he died a long time ago? I think he's probably long dead. That's my guess. How many more seasons of Reacher do you think they can do before it's stale? I don't know. There's like 20-some books. We know we're getting a season 3. I don't know. It depends. I think you could probably do like 3 or 4 more seasons before you might need to shake up the formula. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, Omni. Thanks for a great stream. Look after yourself. Thank you as well, Ginger. You all have a great night, great rest of your weekend, and see you in the next one. It's okay, Omni. No matter what or where, you are doing better for yourself and others is nice. I appreciate you. Thank you for saying all that, Omni. I absolutely agree. People really do need to be better. Is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. taking place directly after Avengers 1, or is it taking place after Thor? Yes. A little of both. I was raised and baptized Anglican? Sorry. I don't know why my brain fucked up on that. Went to church weekly for years, maybe a decade, but now I don't really have any point in any religion in saying this is correct. All religions have valid points somewhere. Also very, very fair. The fact he can do those moves and lift his knee and step up in time and old bamboo at that age is crazy. Good on him, I say. Also, did anyone see BBC Gladiators yet? I did. It looks really good. No, I have not. I've not seen that. It's past midnight here, so off to bed. Love you all. Love you guys as well. Take it easy, Janine. Hey, Rowan! Popping in to say hi. Hope all is well. I hope you are doing well also. Hope you're having a good, had a good New Year's, good Christmas and all that. I apologize. I have not texted you back in a minute. I was actually about to because I saw your post about your grandmother. Not to kind of turn this shitty or anything like that, but I just wanted to say I've been thinking about you and all that. So I hope everything's okay. But I really appreciate you stopping in. I haven't seen you in here in like a while. Welcome back. What if Order 66 was issued, but they were just like, yeah, nah. That would be interesting. That would be cool. That'd be cool. Looking back, Thor 1 was so good. I really do think Thor 1 is pretty underappreciated. And I don't think Dark World as bad as I think it's kind of become a meme to think it is, but it is what it is. It's definitely not one of the best movies. I'm not saying it's the best movie or a great movie by that stretch of the imagination, but I think it's definitely like gets the shit into the stick for that matter. But guys, we've caught up. I went an hour and 20 minutes over stream today. So it is what it is. I have an extra day off this weekend. Who gives a shit at this point? We had some interesting little conversations. But guys, hope you have a good rest of your weekend, and I will see you next week. Same time, same bad channel. Hope everybody has a good week. Take care, everybody.